course, that knows how to put the puck in the net. Had 40 goals last season in just 50 OHL games. The other one, Jacob Julian, a guy who took a huge step in his junior career last year with the London Knights, scoring just under 30 goals, but it was the playoffs where he was real good. Back-to-back hat tricks in the second round. Had 18 points in 18 playoff games. He's got a goal in this tournament and used that 6'4" frame really well against the Vancouver Canucks to create a couple of offensive opportunities. Didn't go for him then, but I've got my eye on him in this one.
Well, the Jets obviously, as mentioned off the top of the show, looking for their second victory. There's Thomas Milic getting the start in between the pipes, number 32. He is a decorated player, that is for sure. And on the other end, we'll get to the starting goalies in a second, but an interesting fact, Brett Brochu did play one game for the Manitoba Moose last season. Well, just 20 minutes, but he will be getting the start here tonight. Looks like we got a lot of people on hand for this one for a Monday morning, at least on this side of the building. As the players, they get ready to line up on the blue line, about 30 seconds to go. Now, there is still considerable amount of pressure on some of these players. It's their last opportunity to make an impression on the respective brass. Yeah,
of course, especially when you're here on some sort of invitation, whether you're not a draft pick of the organization, but you earned your way to whether it was development camp and then to here. You want to make sure you leave a lasting impression because you want your name to be one that management is thinking of when inevitably things change throughout the regular season. One of my favorite quotes that I've always heard is former Jet head coach Paul Maurice saying, "Nothing's permanent." So however things start, things tend to change, but you always want to make sure you're making a good impression every time you're on the ice.
Well, that is hockey, and now we tribute the one they called Johnny Hockey and his brother.
In 2011, and electrified fans in Penticton when he had the honor of watching him lace up his skates at the 2014 Canucks YoungStars Classic. The entire hockey community would like to extend our deepest condolences to the entire Goudreau family. Fans, in honor of Johnny's jersey number, please join us for a 13-second moment of silence for both Johnny and Matthew Goudreau. Thank you. The South Okanagan Event Center recognizes the Penticton Indian Band and the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Okanagan Sauk's people, on whose lands we live, learn, and do our work. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join Andrea Bailey in the singing of O Canada.
The Canadian National Anthem has been sung. The players have tapped their sticks. We're ready to go. We see 20 minutes on the clock. Edmonton 0, Winnipeg 0. It's a beautiful sight. A brand new scoreboard. We'll see what the story entails between the Winnipeg Jets rookies versus the Edmonton Oilers rookies. It's time for the starting netminders for today's action. Brett Brochu gets to start, of course, a decorated player in junior hockey in the OHL. He has a couple awards to his name and a .920 save percentage in his first year as a pro down in Fort Wayne at the ECHL level. Did play one game with the Manitoba Moose last year on loan, 20 minutes of action, 6 saves there. On the other end, Thomas Milic. The 2023 fifth-round pick of the Winnipeg Jets, 21 years old, WHL playoff MVP, and the WHL goaltender of the year a couple of years ago with a sparkling 27-3-1 record, a .928 save percentage, and a 2.0 goals against average. 1992 last year with the Moose, 272, and a 900 was the stat line, and the puck is dropped, and away we go. The Edmonton Oilers win the draw and begin in their own zone as Nickel chips the puck up on the left-hand side. Group follows up, does lose the puck as it is now corralled by the Winnipeg Jets as they look to gather themselves and perhaps get a structured attack moving forward. Max Water, he's been excellent. Of course, a big defenseman for Colin Chalk and the Edmonton Oilers. But his ring around was intercepted as the puck is out of play. 31 seconds into this hockey game.
And it was interesting to hear Colin Chalk yesterday talking about, the offense has been tough to come by for the Edmonton Oilers in this tournament so far. They've got just the one goal, but it says more about bearing down. They're creating the opportunities. It's just a matter of getting that puck over the line because they've been incredibly close just with the one goal. But be interesting to see just how many bodies Edmonton's able to get to the net, just because sometimes when you're struggling to score, it's just not going for you. Oftentimes, getting it to go off of a shin pad or something is sometimes just what you need.
That's all you need. Sometimes you just got to put the puck on net and good things happen. We know the old cliche, and Mitchell is bang on. The Oilers have been creating chances, but just not burying. Colin Chalk hoping they can execute that a little bit better here tonight. Meanwhile, the Winnipeg Jets, they have 6 goals so far in this tournament, looking to expand on that offense as a shot from the point is easily stopped by Brochu. And sometimes, Mitchell, it looks like we got some action behind the net as well, but I was going to say sometimes for a goaltender, that opening shot, an easy one, is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, exactly. And on that shot, looking for the Colby Barlow tip on the way to the net, and probably the least shocking development of this tournament, Nikita Chibrikov involved in some pushing and shoving. He took a couple big hits against the Vancouver Canucks, but you'll kind of see throughout this contest that he's just not somebody that's going to be afraid of getting in on the forecheck and being physical. Maybe the size-wise, it's not necessarily up there with someone that you would think of as someone who has a big part of physicality, is a big part of his game, but he does not shy away from any of it, whether it's hacking and whacking on face-offs or what we just saw there.
5'10" and 172 pounds. The Winnipeg Jets win the puck back. A shot from the point. That one off the stick of Sword. That one goes wide as the Winnipeg Jets ferocious on the forecheck. Edmonton having a tough time getting out of their zone as the Jets, they have their feet moving early on this Monday. That's an excellent start to the week for them. A big hit in the corner as Sword gets a puck back into the corner. As the Winnipeg Jets now maintaining some puck possession in the Edmonton side. A great behind-the-back pass there made by Torgerson. But it did not hit a Winnipeg Jets stick out in front. And the Oilers finally get out of their zone. And both teams decide to change as the puck goes in deep on the right-hand side. It's Waugh. D to Davidson. Petrov exiting the zone early, gets the puck, calls for it, and now puts it in deep. Stefan on the chase as Anhorn looked like he was asking for it, but Milicic doing the work himself, starting to break out, and now we're on the other way, on the left-hand side. Couldn't quite get it to the forehand. Was Ben King, but no matter as Mayo takes a shot from the point. A good blocker stop by Brochu there. As Davidson now has the puck, takes a looks up, but Mayo does a great job of maintaining the zone.
So much of how Winnipeg's played in this tournament. They've had such strong starts in both games, whether they scored 2 goals in the first like they did against Calgary or not like they did against Van. But either way, Winnipeg's getting on the forecheck early. It's something we've seen in both games so far.
Hunter Mayo has the puck, goes D to D. As Bartol passes it up the middle. The Winnipeg Jets coming in and attacking the zone with speed. There's he. He's been noticeable so far in this tournament as Levis has the puck, gets taken down by Lajoie. A good strong play by Lajoie, not only to take the player off the puck, but also strong on his stick. He could have easily got stick lifted there, but Marc Lajoie, he's a big boy. Edmonton Oil King will be playing with the University of Alberta Golden Bears this upcoming U Sports season. As number 77, much like everybody else, looking to make an impression and hopefully carve out something for themselves.
And we talked about the physical play starting earlier. This is Mark Lewinsky, a guy who had over 300 penalty minutes last season in the ECHL, but a guy that's obviously used to throwing his weight around. Good clean check there.
Good check on Connor Clattenburg, who has set the physical tone in many aspects for Colin Chalk and the Edmonton Oilers rookies, as Stripes having none of that.
He's already in conversation with Chibrikov behind him.
Chibrikov's always in the middle of something. As Davidson puts the puck in deep, Milicic cannot get a hold on it as Clattenburg once again finishes his check, but nice work by the Winnipeg Jets to maintain control and possession. Puck, I always love that play, putting it in the corner. But here we go, a great shot and a good stop by Brochu, a right pad save. And that one came off the stick of Chibrikov. Certainly getting his morning started early here at the South Okanagan Event Center. The Winnipeg Jets, Kuzman. He had the overtime winner in the opening game of this tournament against the Calgary Flames for the Winnipeg Jets. A 2-on-0. A shot right off the wall, and a good shot there by Yager, who was acquired for Rutger McGordy. More on that in a second, Mitchell. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Yager's been very noticeable so far in the 124 minutes the Winnipeg Jets have been on the ice so far in Penticton. As they regroup and corral the puck. Brochu has the puck as the Oilers look to slow it down a little bit. This is something that we've seen, Mitchell, from the Edmonton Oilers. They've been a little bit too careless in their own zone. And a big hit on Carl Berglund. Delivered by Lewinsky. Number 92. Catch that license plate as Berglund did not see him coming on the right-hand side. That's a clean, open ice hit, Mitchell.
Yeah, it's always scary when you see the player kind of spinning off, because that's sometimes some of the more dangerous ones. But I think Lewinsky, on my first glance of it, did a really good job of making sure he got shoulder there.
Lewinsky gets the puck in deep as Brochu misplays it, and the Winnipeg Jets once again ferocious on the forecheck. A shot from the point from Mayo. That one hit a body, and now in the corner. A great stick lift here. Here comes Wakely. He's got a man coming on the right-hand side. Wakely tried getting that shot pass, but Milicic doing a great job of redirecting that into the corner. A good heads-up play by both Wakely and the goaltender. The goaltender getting the better of that one there. The Winnipeg Jets. And the opening 5 minutes certainly have been on the right side of us, Mitchell, for the last, I would say, 3.5 of the first 5 minutes of this hockey game. They've certainly been dominating the possession, being very careful with the puck. And I say that, of course, it's a little bit of a careless play as the Oilers now create the turnover. Over the blue line. Got a tussle in the corner. Zhilkin now has some reinforcements following him, but it's the Edmonton Oilers that come out. Wakely gets the puck to Petrov. He's been touch quiet so far in this tournament, but he's got that shot, Mitchell. Those snipers, they can be as quiet as they want, but sometimes they just need one shot to really showcase their talent and turn their tournament around.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing with having that much skill. This is that hit in the middle of the ice where Lewinsky just catches Berglund, just not quite seeing him coming from that backside. And so we've seen Lewinsky twice in this game throwing his weight around and being a little bit more physical, and this is his second game of the tournament.
The Edmonton Oilers win the face-off. A shot from the point from Davidson, easily handled by Milicic. And Milicic is an intriguing prospect. Of course, a 2023 draft pick, but his trophy room at home, I'm sure they're expanding it because he's got a lot of medals and trophies.
Yeah, he had an incredible. Milic had an incredible 2023 season. Even last year, just the ascent that he made, starting in the ECHL, was an all-star there and was really a big part of the Manitoba Moose getting themselves into the playoffs on a strong surge in that second half of the year.
Yeah, Oilers maintaining possession, hoping to get a few more pucks on Milicic. 5-3 are the shots. About 6 minutes into this one, it's he on the right-hand side, takes the shot, and that one is easily handled by Brochu. That is the definition of being in good position as Brochu goes down to his knees. That's a butterfly stop, his 6th of the early morning here in beautiful British Columbia.
Yeah, he's been busy early. Winnipeg out shooting Edmonton 6-3. I do believe Berglund has left the bench, so something that we will keep an eye on. see if he's able to come back. You hope so. The last thing you want to see is someone in this tournament ending up with an injury. Winnipeg a few years ago, I remember, had a defenseman get hit into the end boards, and I believe it was Luke Green. I have to check my memory on that one, and just an injury that kind of sets you back. So hopefully Berglund's all right.
Berglund has a lone goal for the Edmonton Oilers rookie so far on the weekend. That one off a pass from Matt Savoy, an excellent forecheck against the Calgary Flames. However, the Oilers did lose that game by a final of 3-1. Delayed icing here, and let's maybe quickly talk about Braden Yeager, of course, acquired in that trade for Rutger McGorty. Got to give it to Kevin Cheveldayoff, because that is a heck of a move in a situation that kind of handcuffed him a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think at the same time, he found a trading partner in Pittsburgh that was kind of looking for someone or a prospect that could get into their lineup a little bit quicker. McGorty taken the draft before, so he kind of speeds up that timeline a little bit, but I know Winnipeg's really excited about what Braden Yeager can bring. I mean, even in the game against Vancouver, going up against Atu Ratu, a guy who's played some professional games in the faceoff dot constantly, and Yeager definitely held his own, and then that's not to say what he's capable of in the offensive end of the ice as well.
Yeah, Yeager has certainly been a standout for the Winnipeg Jets so far. So has Clattenburg, as he gets a couple of chances. The second one on net. Milicic doing a great job of battling in the crease, and now there's a battle in front as we're starting to see the physicality ramp up a little bit as the tournament wears on for the Edmonton Oilers, at least, as Connor Clattenburg, surprise, surprise, number 64, right in the thick of it. But Milicic showcasing his poise and awareness as he maintains battle in this one and makes a great stop there. That's a pretty tough stop here. He had a couple of bodies in front of him there, Mitchell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, early on in this period, he wasn't seeing a whole lot of action, but he's had to make a couple of really nice stops, one off the rush, and then you got that one with a whole bunch of bodies in front of you. You mentioned goalies getting some saves early. Milic kind of had to wait a little bit to get his first stop, but has looked strong as well.
Sorry, I keep saying Milicic. My apologies. Milic, excuse me. Thomas Milic. If I see you, I promise next time I'll have to apologize. But Thomas Milic has been excellent so far. I've been getting my NBA names mixed up. Too much NBA in the repertoire during the offseason. I got to say, I watched a little summer league with Bronny James over in LA just because. So apologies to Thomas Milic. As Brochu on the other end, signed to an AHL contract. Of course, made a name for himself with the London Knights. Had a couple of good seasons in the OHL. And that's always the case, Mitchell, for goaltenders. Always takes a little bit extra time for them to find their game, especially as they try to navigate in the first couple of years of pro eligibility.
Well, it's just a different game, right? Like, that's kind of why what Milic was able to do last year was so, I don't want to say crazy, because it's not unheard of, but it's very, very difficult to do. The shooters are better, the bodies are bigger. It's just a harder game to play as a goaltender, and so anytime you're able to take that next step, no matter how long it takes, mostly franchises are aware that it takes a little bit longer, and they're willing to wait if that goaltender is going to pay off. And more often than not, when you put that development time in, you're giving them the best chance.
And Brochu's got some action to his left-hand side. A pass in front into the slot to no avail as Clattenburg intercepts it. Now chasing down the Jets defenseman, Jilkin. Picks up the puck behind his net. Now stops behind Milic. Surveys his options as he approaches his own blue line. King gets it in deep as a couple of Jets forwards will go off for a change. Davidson gets the puck on the forehand side as Nickel could not get that out. As the Jets once again maintain puck possession as Anhorn gives it over. A shot from the point. Goes on the right-hand side. Just misses the target. Anhorn once again down low. Levis covering his tracks as he gets in there on the forecheck. Julian tries to give the shoulder to Bame. Number 46 just eludes that one. A shot from the right-hand side by He. And it's a stop for Brochu. Low blocker.
Nice battle in front of Brochu earlier with a couple of big bodies, and Davidson and Julian just battling for position. And, when you're a big body like Jacob Julian, you're able to get to the front of the net. That's how he scored his power play goal. But then also at 5-on-5 against Vancouver, he created a chance that way. And as a defenseman, all you're trying to do is take away that middle of the ice area, try to take away any deflection opportunity, and it was a really good battle between two big bodies.
Yeager does a great job of winning that one back. A shot is blocked. That one off the stick of Barlow, but Wakely doing a good job of getting in the tracks of that one. This is definitely a line that the Edmonton Oilers need to get going should they want to come out with their first victory of the YoungStars Classic against the Winnipeg Jets, led by Matvei Petrov, making his third appearance in this tournament. The Jets to the point. Yager, shot, deflects off the stick of a defender. Peterson, that one ricochets into the corner. Wakely. Yager all over the puck. That's a few turnovers he's created by just moving his feet. And once again creates a turnover. Gets it to Bartol. A shot. Yager on the backhand side. Tries to get a deflection, but Davidson does a great job of getting his stick down and negating that one. That was surely going into the back of the net. The Oilers, Stefan, drops it for Wakely. A Wakely a shot. Tries to go low blocker on Milic. Just misses. Lajoie keeps it in. Wakely down to Nickel, who won an OHL championship with the London Knights last year. Could not get the shot off. Wakely's backhand attempt to Lajoie did not make it to the defender as Nikkanen puts the puck in deep. As there's a tussle in the corner, but Lajoie has the puck on his stick. And beautiful pass to De Jong. De Jong has grouped going to the net, but De Jong is forcefully played there by Sword. Great defending there by number 80. Warner tries to get the puck in deep, but the Winnipeg Jets doing a great job of getting in the passing lanes. Group going to the net here. De Jong, great pass to Nickel. And Milic with another stop. But here's a fight behind the play. It's Corbet once again getting in his third fight. And he's got, can't see the number 92.
That's Lewinsky, the one that's been throwing the hits in this first period.
Yeah. And it's a pretty good tilt here in Penticton on a Monday morning. Lewinsky, 6'1", 194. Corbet, 6'1", 181. That's a pretty even fight, I would say, Mitchell.
Yeah, Corbet's kind of giving it to Lewinsky on the way to the penalty box there. I think it was a matter of Lewinsky was the one that was involved in that scrum, kind of behind the play that you were alluding to as the Oilers made their way up the ice. And I think eventually it just got to a point where Edmonton felt they had to do something about it.
Let's take our first timeout of the early morning. 0-0 is the score as the Winnipeg Jets lead the shot clock 7-5.
The new Flex Club is changing the game when it comes to flexible ticket packages. Save 15% on Hitmen, Wranglers, and Roughnecks tickets, and select the games that work with your schedule. With 3 teams, you have 78 games to choose from. Plus, save on fees, boosting your savings to as high as 30%. Simply select any of the 3 teams, any game, any seat, in any combination that works for your busy schedule. Flex Club. Your tickets, your schedule, your way. Visit flexclub.ca today.
Hey everyone, it's Leon Draisaitl here. I told you guys last year that Oktoberfest was going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be even better this year. Go get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Prost.
Flames fans, the future is here. With the announcement of our new arena, Scotia Place, there's no better time to become a Calgary Flames season ticket member. Enjoy savings of up to 40% off single game ticket prices and get exclusive access to events and opportunities to meet the team. Plus, you'll be first in line for Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Be a part of the action live and experience every moment from your very own seat. Head to CalgaryFlames.com/tickets today to secure your spot.
The new arena renderings for the Calgary Flames look incredible. And by the way, we saw Leon Draisaitl with that big pint for Oktoberfest. I owe Thomas Milic one of those big pints at one point. But I promise I'll make it up to him by getting him his favorite beer for sure. But the Winnipeg Jets, Mitchell, certainly dictating the early stages of this hockey game 11 minutes in. A lot of the play has been to our right in front of Brochu.
And a pretty veteran Winnipeg Jets group that they brought here. You know, in previous years, they've been one of the younger teams. I would offer to say this year they're one of the older, so you're definitely seeing some of the experience, but some of it just comes down to details, right? We saw the shift from Braden Yeager where just using his feet, getting the pucks first, and putting pressure on some of the Oilers' D to make a play before they're quite ready to do so, and you can force some of those turnovers and create some time.
Mayo has the puck in front of his goaltender with 9:03 remaining in the first period. Scores still Bagels. Shot 7-5 for the blue team with the light blue and white trim. The Edmonton Oilers wearing their road uniforms with the blue and orange trim as Matt Savoy tries to negate the icing, but it was Dylan Anhorn, the 25-year-old from Calgary, who beat number 22 to the puck.
Yeah, Anhorn became a popular teammate with the Manitoba Moose last year, and later on in the season, coming out after his time at St. Cloud, he's a captain there, so obviously some leadership ability in him as well.
Top lines go at it as Jacob Julian and Sam O'Reilly get ready to take the draw. It's a shot from the point. One back to Zalotti. That one handled rather easily by the catcher of number 50.
Always wonder as this tournament goes on, regardless of whether it's Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, you start to get a little bit more reps. Yeah, your lines are a little bit different and whatnot, but you start getting some of these offensive zone faceoffs. You start to wonder, because there's a bunch of offensively creative players, you start to wonder if maybe they start setting up some offensive zone plays and whatnot off the faceoffs, just because, you know, you want to be able to find offense, you want to be able to show well, to show your hockey IQ. I always wonder if those conversations happen as camp goes on. You start to get more and more comfortable with your teammates.
And for a lot of these players, especially for the Oilers, for the camp invites, you haven't played a lot with these other players, so it takes a little bit to get going. A shot from Warner off the bar and out of play. That's by far the Edmonton Oilers' best chance of the first period as Warner ricochets it off the red and then into the netting. A great shot there from number 88.
Well, we talked about, you know, some of the veteran presence on the Winnipeg Jets side of things. Warner, one of those for the Edmonton Oilers, just gets up in the play like you see so many defensemen do now. It's just part of how things go. It's rarely three in the rush. Now it's four. You're attacking in layers, and Warner kind of comes in a little bit late, gets a great shot off, but catches all iron.
6'3", 194. He says he can. Comes with age and experience, but Warner coming off his first pro season down in Bakersfield. A chance for Yeager once again, streaking in on the left-hand side. An excellent move there around Peterson as number 29 has certainly got his mitts going to begin this hockey game. Barlow now has the puck as the Winnipeg Jets. They really like to control it in their own blue line before attacking that neutral zone, and that's a big reason why we see them so much success in between the Blues right now. Brochu, backhand pass to his defenseman. Great job by Warner to get it to Grube. Grube passes it to his right as the Oilers try to stay onside, but offside they are with 7:44 remaining in the opening frame of this one.
Yeager just getting stronger and stronger as this tournament goes on. I don't know if it's a comfortability thing or just shaking some of the rust off from the summer, but he had his feet moving really well there, kind of caught the Edmonton Oilers a little bit flat-footed in transition and stuck with the puck and doesn't quite get it to the net. A nice little defensive play, but nonetheless, Yeager just continuing to progress here in this tournament.
19-year-old, 5'11", 179, a very shifty player wearing Patrick Line, his old number 29 for the Winnipeg Jets. Davidson puts the puck behind the net. Group does a great job. Great follow-up by Nickel. Nickel tries to find a man in front, but De Jong could not get that puck to him. Nickel over to the corner. De Jong to Lajoie. Lajoie shot deflects off a stick and out of play once again. As this game maybe not finding its rhythm right now. We're seeing a lot of whistles, but the Oilers doing a better job of pushing back, and that's exactly what we've been seeing from this team, Mitchell. Slower starts, perhaps it comes down to that chemistry aspect we just touched on, but the Oilers doing a better job of pushing back here.
Sometimes when you're a little bit younger, you kind of wait to see what kind of game it's going to be, and that can get you in trouble if the other team comes out to a really strong start and gets a couple on the board. But Edmonton on that last shift kind of moving the puck a little bit better than what we've seen in the first period.
A very young squad for the Edmonton Oilers. 7 of their top 9 players drafted in the last couple of years. Barteau Just wanted to get that puck on net. Brochu does a great job, but the Winnipeg Jets, they get an offensive zone draw. And right now, the Winnipeg Jets primarily are doing a good job of winning the faceoffs, and that seems to be a problem for the Edmonton Oilers. And that's also a big reason why the Winnipeg Jets have been able to maintain as much possession as they have.
Yeah, starting with the puck is never a bad thing. And Danny Zhilkin, a guy who had his season ended last year due to surgery, his first pro season with the Manitoba Moose. This is his second game of the tournament, a great opportunity on that 2-on-1.
King rims it around, but it's found by the Edmonton Oilers as Petrov now just tries to go off the boards. It hits the linesman as King is now on Warner. Warner behind the back, a little careless, got lucky there, but Waugh followed it up, and Wakely squeaked in behind the defender, gets a good backhand shot off, but Milic does a great job of getting the shoulder on it. Responding and equaling to the task. Ben King thought that might have been onside, but it looks like the referees had a better angle of that one. Offside once again. All right, for the Winnipeg Jets, what kind of offseason did they have, Mitchell, for our Edmonton Oilers viewers, and what can we expect come 24-25?
Yeah, I think same expectations. There's going to be a situation where, Winnipeg saw some veterans, your Brendan Dillon, Sean Monahan, Tyler Toffoli, the guys left the organization in free agency, so the expectations I don't think change very much. A couple of younger guys given possibly some opportunities in camp, so that'll be the main storyline going in.
He, on Lajoie, finishes his check. That's one thing that the Winnipeg Jets have certainly done so far, is they're finishing each one of their checks, and that's usually the long game. So we'll see how that impacts this hockey game in the second and perhaps in the late stages of the third period, as Davidson has it on his back end. A quick 1-2 and a clean breakout for the Oilers, but a good job by the Winnipeg Jets once again to just maintain where they need to be, getting in the passing lanes, getting in the skating lanes, as the Oilers are having a tougher time getting the puck out of their net, out of their zone, De Jong over to Nickel. Nickel finds Grube on the backhand, and Milic standing tall once again. That's his 7th stop of the morning. Grube on the forehand over to Davidson. Goes D-to-D to Warner. Warner, a shot that's deflected in the corner. Davidson bumps up, gets a tight angle shot. Milic had to be sharp on that one. Warner in the corner to Nickel. Nickel misses his mark as the puck goes out of play. 5 minutes remaining into this one as the Winnipeg Jets try to squeeze in a quick line change. That one mishandled by De Jong as Mayo goes D-to-D. Clean breakout to Yager. Yager misses his man. Chibrikov, who has also been all over the ice. That line has been phenomenal, but that one resulting in an icing and an offensive zone draw for the Edmonton Oilers.
And if you're Edmonton, I think what you really like about that last shift is there's a couple of things. One, some nice puck movement in small areas to create the initial chance that Milic makes the big stop on it. But your puck retrievals were also good. This is the tight area plays right here. You can see this one comes back out into the front of the net. Nice stop by Milic. But Edmonton able to get first on puck after that as well. And that's going to extend your time in the offensive zone time, make Winnipeg defend a little bit longer.
Yager wins the draw as Mayo is surrounded by white jerseys, tries to make a play, but 3-on-1, the Oilers will come out more times than not. Yager comes out of the zone, over to Chibrikov. Chibrikov's shot goes into the corner. Yager follows it up as this line tries to get their footing in the offensive zone, but Wakely doing a good job of backtracking and perhaps creating a turnover. Lajoie, former Edmonton Oil King, will stay in Edmonton. The U of A Golden Bears. They'll surely make our friend Bob Stauffer happy. That's for sure. As Matt Savoy tries to get his feet moving. Here's number 22 over on the left-hand side to the Oilers' first-round pick from a couple of months ago. Sam O'Reilly from the London Knights was playing defense a couple of years ago, went to the wing, and this past offseason, Mark Hunter wanted him to play center, and they found like the man who's wearing number 72 today saw some success when he pivoted his own line. Jets, D-to-D, shot that just missed the net by Sward. Nice little move. That could have easily been a hook there. And that is going to be a penalty. Kuzmin doing a great job of moving his feet laterally, and Sam O'Reilly caught on his heels as the Winnipeg Jets will get their first power play opportunity. 3:19 remaining in the first period.
And Kuzmin's been active at the blue line throughout the entire tournament, 2021 draft pick of the Winnipeg Jets. And, you know, he's just a guy that's shown just a ton of confidence. And we talked about, you know, times that you've been to this tournament and, you know, how that can help you, especially with whether that's nerves coming in or whatever it may be. Kuzmin's looked very, very comfortable throughout. And this is just one of the plays that he makes, tries to make a move at the line and, you know, ends up getting a stick in the stomach. And now Winnipeg's power play can go to work.
Oilers win the draw and get the puck out. That's always good to burn off about 30 seconds off the power play. More on Kuzmin, 5'10", 187, 2021 third-round pick for the Winnipeg Jets. As he and Colby Barlow also connected on a 2-on-0. You don't often see that, but a 2-on-0 overtime winner in this tournament's opener for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, no pressure on that 2-on-0. You almost feel like you have to score, and then you're the defenseman joining, and someone like Barlow dishes off to you, and you're like, oh, man. But he made no mistake.
No mistake.
Top corner.
Top corner over the glove. Securing the lone victory for the Jets so far during this 4-day tournament. The Jets have a power play, 98 seconds remaining in that one, but the Oilers doing a good job by the PK. Not letting the team in blue get set. Warner goes back to retrieve it, misses it, now has two Jets on him, but does get help from Lajoie, and he's made a few dandy plays with his physicality and that strong stick. That's one of his strong suits. He's really good at breaking up the cycle. Also put up a few points in his 20-year-old season in the WHL last year. It's a five-man unit for the Winnipeg Jets. That just seems a little discombobulated right now as Barlow goes back to retrieve it. Hopefully taking their time up and get more set. Only 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. It's Barlow doing it himself, coming over the blue. Tries to go across, but here it's a potential break as Nickel. I don't think Nickel knew how much free space was in front of him, and Clattenburg also occupied the lane a little bit. Either way, the Oilers happy to keep burning off as the seconds burn down on this opening Jets power play.
And with Brad Lambert out of the lineup for the Winnipeg Jets, he was the one that was kind of tasked with bringing that puck up the ice on the power play especially.
Grube looking to create an opportunity. Shorthanded Grube takes a shot, and that one's deflected off the stick of Bordero, excuse me. Right-hand shot, getting his stick in between. Wearing number 86 for the Jets, carrying the puck up ice. That's a great pass up front. That could have been sprung if it could have been handled. That one off the stick of Lewinsky. Lewinsky gets a shot. A sweeping shot from the goal line, easily handled by Brochu. Warner over to his D partner, Peterson, as these teams are back at even strength for about 15 to 20 seconds now. As the Oilers elect to go with their second line, Matvey Petrov. He can score the puck, former 40-goal scorer for the North Bay Battalion. Looking to generate a little bit more offense this weekend. Mayo, shifty move in his own zone. Rims it around. Levis leaves it for He's been noticeable as well so far in these few days. He's got some bite to his game and also some jump in his step. Showcasing it there, and he was the first one there as he has the puck on his forehand and tries to go back, and that one hit the knob of Brochu. Otherwise, it would have been 1-0 Winnipeg. Great stop there by number 50. As the Oilers just look to get the puck out and regroup, but instead it's going to be Matt Savoy. A quick shot on Milic, and that one is going to be the final shot of the opening frame. 19 shots total. No score between Edmonton and Winnipeg, and the Oilers doing a better job of pushing back in that middle stages of that first. The Winnipeg Jets had a power play opportunity. couldn't get much on their lone chance so far on the man advantage.
Yeah, the power play is always the big question mark coming into a tournament like this, because no matter which team, you just don't have the time to put the reps in. But I think similar to how the rest of the tournament has gone, Winnipeg will be big fans of how they started this one in terms of puck possession and forecheck. Edmonton seemed like they got a little bit stronger as the period went along.
0-0 is the score after 20 minutes in beautiful Penticton, British Columbia. But let's go down to the Lone Star State and OilCountry and take a look at the drop. Of course, the flagship feature on Oilers Plus, going back to round number 3. Of course, the Oilers defeating the Dallas Stars by a series of 4-2. Let's take a look.
Max, you've been here before at camp. You kind of know the routine, you know what to expect. How would you assess, how you kind of feel showing up to camp this week?
Yeah, I mean, this is my 3rd year, obviously, so I've been here a couple of years. I have a lot of experiences to draw from, and I'm just hoping to teach some of the young guys and maybe give them some of the confidence I was given when I was a young kid from older guys like I said earlier, like Broberg and Kesselane, guys like that. So I'm just hoping to instill some of that confidence in the young guys that have been invited this year.
That's awesome. You're speaking a lot to your leadership style as well. Maybe if we can just expand on that a little bit. We've seen the A on your jersey. In what ways do you like to be able to lead your team?
I think just by playing my game, I kind of lead by example. I just go out there, be hard to play against, hit guys, send a message that we're not going to be pushed around out there. We'll be a hard team to play against no matter what.
How much did you enjoy your team's pushback? I know we just talked about it off camera, but once you guys killed off that penalty in that second 5 minutes in, you guys really started to get your legs moving. Can you maybe talk about that moment and what that did for your team yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, we had some huge kills last game, and that's what you need in a tight game like that. When it's a 2-1 game, you need to be able to kill one off, and once you kill it off, you get a lot of momentum off that. So speaks volumes to our kill, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Can you maybe talk about the cohesion and how that's kind of built throughout this week? Of course, I mean, on the back end, there's 5 camp invites, and then there's yourself as well. But can you maybe talk about the collective growing togetherness? I don't know if that's the proper term or not, but how much you guys have grown together over the last 4 days?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to come into a tournament like this and have chemistry right off the hop. But, I mean, going to Keith's today, we're going to Duncan Keith's, so we'll be riding his jet skis, we'll be hanging around his basketball court, stuff like that. I think experiences like that help bring the team together, and hopefully for the next game we can be a little more cohesive.
2 questions. How's the three-point shot, and how's the ping pong skills?
My three-point shot could use a lot of work, but I would say on the table I'm one of the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you a rating champion at all?
I would say I'm hard to get off that table. I'll leave it there. I'm hard to get off the table.
So we know where to find you.
Yeah, you'll know where to find me.
I love that. Well, one final one for me. Of course, last game of tomorrow. What does Max Wanna's week and mindset look like after Monday? I know you still are focused on the game, but main camp starts on Wednesday. Maybe talk about your psyche leading up to a pretty big few days for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously something very exciting to look forward to. I'm in a position where I can maybe make a little bit bigger of an impact than I have the last few years, but I'm looking to just take it a day at a time, just game by game, day by day.
You have all the experience and you can do all the physical work, but how do you prepare mentally for a weekend like this and also heading into main camp?
That's a good question. I don't know, just do what I've always done, just take it a day at a time. And as far as mentally preparing, I feel like I like to just stay loose and chat with the guys, whether it's just hanging out or playing ping pong or just doing whatever. I try to stay busy and not think about it as much.
So we can follow up on ping pong tomorrow then?
Yeah, you'll see me there.
Of how you're feeling and how it feels to be out there in an Oilers uniform.
Yeah, it's definitely slowing down a bit. I can kind of feel the game a bit more and feel how I can play out there. And today definitely felt better, so just build off that.
I know tonight was not the result that you guys wanted, but the intensity level was there, and you were part of the reason that it was there as well. How did you feel kind of in that fight with Bell?
I mean, I was just doing whatever I can to get the guys going, and I know after the first game, everyone kind of got up after that first fight, so when I had the chance, I just did it, and, the boys got some energy, and then it built into the rest of the game.
How much is that physical element a part of your game that you really want the Oilers to notice?
Yeah, it's a big part, and it's not around nowadays that much. So it's one of the strengths that not many people have. So I'm just building from that and just help out where I can.
You've been playing alongside Matt Savoy and Sam O'Reilly. Today they talked about the fact that they want to get a little bit more chemistry going on your line. How did you find that went tonight?
Today I think we were buzzing a bit more, and we've created a few more chances, and we're all moving better. So yeah, I think we built a lot off that first game.
You guys started the second period with the power play, but then you guys were tasked with killing off a penalty. And after you guys killed that penalty off, you started getting a little bit more momentum. Did you kind of feel that penalty kill kind of kick-started you guys finding your feet a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. That brought us some energy, and we definitely stayed in their zone quite a while and had tons of chances. So we definitely built off those penalty kills.
What did we see in the last 30 minutes that we maybe didn't see in the opening 90 minutes of this tournament from your group?
I think everyone just trusts each other more with the D pinching down, and the wingers can do anything on their team. So when the D pinched down and we just kept pucks moving, like everyone just trusted each other and just knew wherever each other was. So yeah, that was good.
How about the play of your goaltenders so far in this tournament? They've been great.
Yeah, they've been unreal and staying on their heads, and they've definitely helped us out a lot, keep it closer. So we wouldn't be this close without those guys.
First time playing in the Battle of Alberta, of course the Rookies edition, but what did you think of the intensity and the energy out there?
Oh, it was great. I always remember watching the Battle of Alberta, and I loved it. It was back and forth, and it was good to be a part of it, yeah.
Manage it, because you have to manage it. It's going to be, well, okay, yeah, they're doing really well in the regular season, but what's going to happen come playoff time?
And that pressure's going to ramp up.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part with sports, but that's the nature of the beast.
Well, the organization and the team, the Jets, have been very consistent over the years. And you just mentioned a good Canadian, Western Canadian kid in Adam Lowry. His first year last year as captain of the Jets, how do you think he handled himself? I know you weren't around the team, but you must have seen from afar.
Oh, very well. I mean, the thing that even when I was there, Adam Lowry was one of those go-to guys, and he was always the guy that even if they were down by 4, Adam Lowry would still come out and do the interview and would give you a real good explanation
because I was hurt too.
Why
last year
down
I came back at the end.
We
played him like 3 times.
Handle it, and he continued that last year when he was the captain. Every time he was asked.
Connor was just talking about you trying to run him over in your.
I wasn't in the room.
Yeah, first practice with him. Get him hurt? Yeah, maybe.
But just a couple of days here, and I know it's early going, but what's your sense of the group overall?
Oh, it's great. Everybody's coming into town now, and it's been awesome. Older team and more veterans and stuff like that, so it's been good.
I know you're very close with the Ekholms. On and off the ice, how's that been? How soft a landing spot does that make it for you?
No, it's great. Talking to him and to his wife, and my wife to his wife, it's been awesome. And kids play together, go to the same school, so it's been great.
So is he that well spoken and focused away from the rink like he is when he talks?
Yeah.
In the media?
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, we've been knowing each other since Nashville time, since I got there, and basically ate dinner with him and John Kroc and Forsberg every single day when I lived at the hotel there. So it's good.
I want to ask you about this city kind of becoming a destination city for players. How do you, like, when you were looking at Edmonton and getting a chance to play here, what was it that was attractive to you come play here?
No, obviously their hunger to win, and I'm in the point of my career there where I see myself pushing for that. So it was a no-brainer when they wanted to make a deal, and it's great to be here.
What stood out about the Oilers when you played against them in the playoffs?
No, they can show you so many different things offensively, and obviously the firepower up front, and they were really good on the PK when we played them last year, and so they basically had everything. So I just want to be able to come in and contribute to that.
As a free agent, did you feel like if you stayed in LA, you were ever going to get out of this division? Was this team just the team you couldn't get past?
I don't know. I think they're at the point here. Like we are at the point here where we're pushing for a Stanley Cup. So for sure, that's a part of it too.
Did it feel a little strange pulling over the Oilers logo after kind of hating this team over the last 3 years?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I didn't play the first round when we went to 7, and then 2 years in a row, it felt like I was only playing Edmonton because I was hurt too, and last year I came back at the end and we played them like 3 times and then playoffs, so obviously a little bit strange, but it feels good.
It's been a long time since players who played in places like LA and Nashville would come up here. There was many years when this free agent would never come to Edmonton.
Yep.
What changes?
I don't know. I think the hockey and like people want to get better, people want to win, and I can just look at myself. And obviously, I'm from up north in Sweden too, so I'm kind of used to the condition, weather. I think weather is a big part of it, maybe, and for players. And but I'm excited.
We're at practice here. Camp hasn't even started. There's 4 cameras, there's a bunch of media. You're doing interviews. How will you sort of adapt to being in a red-hot hockey market here?
I'm just going to play my game and be myself. I've been doing that my whole career, so why change?
Well, Jeff, how do you feel out there?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's nice to get out there and meet everyone, get some rest off from the travel, and yeah, it was fun.
You get to know a group of guys. It's been a few years since you've come in. Everybody knows about, you haven't been in the playoffs. How excited are you? Do you feel different coming into a team that went to the Cup Finals, being in the playoffs a lot, that you feel like you can get there this year?
Yeah, there's definitely some excitement. Obviously, I think everyone saw the run I went on last year, and I think you got a lot of guys that are hungry to repeat that run. So, yeah, I'm just looking to be a part of it, I think, and just try and be a piece of the puzzle. And yeah, I think obviously it's a long way to go. Just try and keep working on it, get better every day, and obviously this is just my first day here, so just excited right now.
What do you do to get to know your new teammates?
I don't know how to talk to them. I think like over the years I've sort of crossed paths with a few of them. Obviously there's a lot of guys from around the Toronto area, so I've sort of seen guys in the summer. Play Worlds with Pears and Nuge. Play minor hockey with Zach Hyman. So I think, and then you know guys. Obviously the hockey world's pretty small. You know guys that have played with each guy. So it's it doesn't take long, I don't think, and seems like a great group of guys. So excited to get to know them.
You're in a position to play with one of 2 very elite centers in this game. What's that like being a guy who knows how to score goals and with a spot next to, again, a top 5 player in the world?
Yeah, I think everyone sort of knows how good the centermen are on this team. I think every team in the league is looking for center depth. So as a winger, it's nice to know you're going to play with good players, sort of up and down the lineup. So I think, yeah, it's exciting.
For the city and the community and the people. So.
Came up halfway through, was great in the first game against Calgary, and Dominic DiVincentis is an Ontario Hockey League goaltender of the year 2 years ago. Was thought to be one of the front runners to be the goaltender for Canada at the past World Juniors. Had a little bit of a slower start, but recovered to help North Bay get into the playoffs, and was injured in the first round. but Dominic DiVincentis will begin the year this year, begin his professional career with Norfolk of the East Coast Hockey League. So a lot of depth at the goaltender position. A lot of things have happened in just 2 games. As you know, this tournament goes by really fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
But there are also games that are very impactful.
Yeah,
it
sure.
almost seems like there's only 3 games, but at the same time, there's still 3 games to be able to see these guys over and over, get the reps in, and also you kind of see them develop and learn, if it's their first time here, the pace of play, how physical it is, and what it's like to play against sometimes older guys that they haven't played against before. How have you seen the Jets over the course of 2 games kind of evolve, and what do you expect them to apply today?
It's an older group this year, Paige. So I'm sure you've seen it in years past, and sort of maybe in this tournament too, is the younger players are trying to do so much because they're like, oh, I'm a draft pick. It's my second year as a draft pick. I got to make a name for myself. Management's here. The coaching staff's here. They try and do too much. So in that first game, we're used to seeing a parade of the penalty box. I'm not sure if that was the case for the Oilers in this one. There was only 4 power plays in the first game against Calgary on Friday, which was shocking to see. So what they've done is they've been very level-headed. They haven't panicked a whole lot. You know, you think of a guy like Colby Barlow. This is his second tournament. You know, he's scored a lot of goals at the Ontario Hockey League level. Very calm and patient in this tournament so far. So we've seen not so much trying to do too much. But the one thing I will say, because of the tournament and schedule, you know, Winnipeg played on Friday and Saturday off, but they played at 2 o'clock yesterday. They're playing 11 o'clock today. There'll be some tired legs today.
Right.
So if you're expecting a run and gun all game, that's not going to happen from the Winnipeg Jets side of things. A little bit more patience and stuff like that. But I think, to answer your question, they've been understanding of
offensive looks, and this was one of Edmonton's best looks. A wrist shot off the crossbar from Warner that ripped by the shoulder, it looked like, of Milic. And then Winnipeg, certainly a lot of offensive zone time. Braden Yeager certainly had his feet moving throughout that opening period, creating a lot of opportunities. Using his feet, you can see the turnover he forces there. So certainly some looks, but both goaltenders standing tall so far, Tony.
Milic and Brochu turning aside all 19 combined shots coming their way. There's a look at the tail of the tape after 20 minutes of play. And the main one score 0-0 between the Winnipeg Jets rookies and the Edmonton Oilers rookies. And when it comes to Mark Lewinsky, 23-year-old, 6'1", 194, 310 penalty minutes in the ECHL last season. Mitchell, 310.
Yeah, it's a lot of time spent sitting. But as you can see in that first period, when you play the game the way that he does, you know, you're certainly going to draw a crowd, right? So the main thing is that's the type of game that he knows he needs to play. And, of course, as you get further up, the chances of you hitting 300 penalty minutes are pretty rare, but that's a heck of a stat to have on the resume.
310 minutes in the box for the one wearing number 92 tonight, or today, excuse me. Second time I've done that. I've vowed every time I say tonight, Mitchell, on a matinee game on Oilers TV, I vowed to donate $100 to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation, because
nice.
I really need to dial that in. You can't improve what you don't measure, and I really need to start controlling that. So we are here today, Monday, in Penticton, between the Oilers rookies and the Jets rookies. Lajoie with the shot from the point. That one gets blocked. 40 seconds into this one. Warner corrals it, puts it in deep as the Oilers and Jets starting to make some changes as reinforcements are now on the way. The Jets taking their time to complete their change. And it's going to be led by Yeager. He's been all over the ice in the opening 20 minutes. Yeager streaming in on the left-hand side. Checked nicely by Corbet, who was engaged in his third fight. You talk about the aforementioned fight. 3 fights for number 71 for the Edmonton Oilers this week. Of course, 5 of the 6 defensemen dressing for the Edmonton Oilers are camp invites. The lone player signed to an Oilers contract is Max Warner, of course, a draft pick for the Edmonton Oilers, a 7th-round selection a couple of years ago. Stefan has the puck taken off his stick by Yeager. Yeager elects to put the puck in deep as he goes off for a change. And it's going to be a wholesale for the Winnipeg Jets. The Oilers coming up the ice, it's Connor Clattenburg. Handled by Milic. Milic surveys his options. Intercepted by Sam O'Reilly. Couldn't get a stick on it as the Jets are now out of the zone. The Jets. Shot from the right-hand side, just missing the target. Sward does a good job of keeping it in, as Torgerson is negated by Davidson. Lewinsky, active game for him so far. Passes it Torgerson with the shot. Rebound, Brochu did a good job of maintaining. Good heads-up play by Sam O'Reilly. That one had an opportunity of seeing the game's icebreaker go in the net, but Sam O'Reilly with an active stick and the hand-eye coordination, well, safe to say it's in mid-season form.
Torgerson had so many chances in Winnipeg's opening game against Calgary. Another opportunity there for the AHL veteran.
The Jets get possession of the puck in the corner as Brochu does a good job of intercepting that one with his goal stick. But it's still the Jets, and a shot coming out of the corner was Danny Zhilkin, the 20-year-old, 6'1", 196, comes out of that corner, labeled for the top corner, but the glove side of Brochu says no.
A little bit of a scrambly start to the second, but I would say Winnipeg's a team that kind of generates the first good chance, and nice follow-up by Nikkanen, and then shortly after by, I believe that was Lewinsky as well. Brochu stands tall and then makes a real nice glove save shortly after that on Zhilkin, who's looking to build on his first pro season.
Lewinsky having a great game so far. Could have scored there, but Sam O'Reilly, the first-round pick from a couple of months ago for the Edmonton Oilers, taken with pick number 32. Of course, that pick acquired in a trade with the Philadelphia Flyers just minutes before. As the Jets, Anhorn goes behind the goal line, now behind the net. Takes a shot, and that's a second stop off the stick and the knob of Brochu. But hey, it's not about how, it's about how many. And so far, how many is 12.
Yeah, Brochu's been good, especially positionally. Not a whole lot to shoot at there for Anhorn, and he's able to hit the stick. And I know pretty much every goaltender would say, yeah, that's part of my gear. Part of my gear. I didn't give you anything. The player will say you got lucky. Goaltender says, nuh-uh, totally intentional.
Brochu would say he's got his positioning down to the inches.
There you go.
Right now. And it's a game of inches so far. 16:44 remaining in the second frame. Still no score between Edmonton and Winnipeg in the finale for both of these teams' respective schedules at the YoungStars Classic. And they always do a great job of hosting this in a great city. Penticton, you can never go wrong when it comes to early fall in beautiful British Columbia. Grube over to Waugh. Waugh fakes the shot, then does release it. Good stop by Milic as Grube picks up the puck. Right-hand shot behind, protecting it with his body. But the Jets are on it. Good stick there by Julian. Corbet, deflected shot, goes into the corner. As the Oilers now with the first real possession of the second period. Grube, it's a heavy player back there, acquired for a 5th-round pick. Thought it was worth making the gamble on a 5th-round pick to pick up Grube. He is coming off his first pro season in Bakersfield. A shot from the point. The Jets have it. Brochu with the right pad stop. As Sward now has it on the left-hand side. A shot from the dot. Good stop by Brochu. On the right-hand side, tries to make a backhand play. As Levis was there, but he almost got a stick up on the visor. But his shot also stopped by Brochu. The Jets now piling on the shots from anywhere and everywhere. Maintaining it around, going around the horn. As Kuzmin over to his D partner, Sward. Shot off the stick of Nickel into the corner. On the right-hand side, picked up by Zhilkin. Zhilkin draws into the lineup after sitting out last game. One of 4 forwards to draw in for the Winnipeg Jets this game. A few changes as highlighted by Mitchell Clinton, of course, color analyst for the Winnipeg Jets. Matvei Petrov gets it and retrieves it in his own zone. Over to Stefan. Stefan, a nifty little move on the inside. Wakely shot stopped twice by the left pad of Thomas Milic. He's got 14 saves so far in this hockey game. Davidson rims it around. Milic does a good job of getting his body and stopping the puck on the board. And allows the Winnipeg Jets to easily get a line change in and put it in deep. Davidson, a costly turnover, and that's a stop by Jaeger. Good shoulder stop there by Brochu. We're seeing a little bit more action as the second period goes on. But it's a missed pass there. The Winnipeg Jets and the Edmonton Oilers exchanging a couple of opportunities to begin this one, Mitchell.
Yeah, things opening up a little bit here in the second. Started a little scrambly, but now teams have kind of found their footing and certainly their hands in their respective offensive zones. But the goaltenders continue to be the story in this one.
Salati maneuvering on the blue line now. Goes towards the goal line. Zloty, backhand pass, tries to find Jaeger, but it was Desjardins with a good stick, and now the Oilers, they look to get a little bit more offense going off the rush. Yes, they've had 13 shots, but off the rush, unlike yesterday, they were doing a good job of creating opportunities off the rush, but today, more so a possession game from head coach Colin Chalk. This one just offside as Boehm getting a little overzealous as he draws in, looks to make an impact, but this time he goes offside.
And officials jumping right in the middle of that one just to be sure nothing happens after the shot. And this is that Winnipeg shift that we saw. Brochu really just moving around, trying to do anything he can to track the puck, but just some nice one-touch puck movement and a lot of nice work by the defensemen that were involved on that being Swart and Kuzmin as well. One of the big skills for defensemen now is ability to walk the line. Of course, you have your elite, players that are able to do it at the National Hockey League level, but in order to be able to get shots through and create from that position, you need to be able to walk the line, find the shooting lanes, and create a little bit of deception because teams are so good at blocking shots now that in order to get it through, you got to be able to create back there.
Josh Morrissey and Evan Bouchard amongst the best when it comes to walking that line. They do it and make it look so easy. They do it each and every night for the respective National Hockey League clubs. 12:52 remaining in the second period. No score yet as Matt Savoy, he created a goal yesterday by moving his feet, getting the primary helper. Gets negated there as Togerson retrieves the puck in the offensive corner. Savoy dishes it out to Clattenburg. Clattenburg now on the hunt with Sward. He's had himself a pretty decent morning and early afternoon here in Penticton. And now the puck is on his stick. Clattenburg doing a great job of finishing his check and then gets an extra shot, perhaps looking for a little fisticuffs. He's not afraid to drop the gloves whenever necessary. Davidson corrals it on the backhand, looks for Wakely. Wakely looked for a man in front. Winnipeg Jets. Oh! Good stick there by Stefan. Just swatted that down. If he could have just got his stick on it once the puck hit the ice, that was a wide open goal. As Milicic was responding to the point shot. Petrov loses it to Julian, who elects to go in deep. Levis over to his defenseman. It's going to be Anhorn. Anhorn over to Hunter Mayo. Mayo back to Anhorn. A shot from the point. That one hits a body in front, did not get all the way through to the netminder. And the Oilers start to navigate left to right. It's Wakely, a shot, and an easy stop by Milicic. That one just hitting the right side of the crust, and we see a little bit more action in front of Milicic.
I think a lot of it had to do with some of the battles that we saw in the last couple of shifts. The temperature in this one turning up a little bit. Once again, both goaltenders making some big stops for their respective teams, and Milic on this one just able to, because he saw it's one Oiler against three coming down the ice, he's able to come out, cut down that angle, and not offer any sort of rebound whatsoever. So Milic, maybe not your prototypical 6'4" goaltender that you're seeing these days, but he's very positionally sound and moves well in his crease as well. So a guy that's confident in his game, why wouldn't you be, given the seasons that he's had, especially in the last couple of years?
Yeah, 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago, 27-3-1, 928, 208 goals against average. Won Western Hockey League Goaltender of the Year and Playoff MVP as that one comes in hot. Hopefully everyone is okay underneath the broadcast booth here at the South Okanagan Event Center. No score, 11:06 remaining in the middle frame as the Oilers fans look to cheer their team on, but nobody can beat this man. It's Milic with 14 of 14, and on the other end, Brett Brochu, 17 of 17, and the Oilers goaltenders have been good so far as the reffing crew deciding to quickly huddle together, make sure they got their plays in order and got the right call on the ice. Great job by them. It's O'Reilly, who does not win the draw. Instead, it was Danny Zhilkin winning the draw, of course, drawing in. Lajoie. Mishandled a little bit by Sam O'Reilly, but no danger, no immediate danger in front. As the puck goes out of play, 10:50 remaining in this one.
A lot of stops and starts here in the second. There was a good 2 to 3 minute run there where it was end-to-end hockey, and we were getting on the edge of our seats up here, hoping that game's first goal was going to show up. And then now in the last couple of minutes here, it's just kind of slowed right down as the plays are just a little bit less clean than what they were early on.
Mitchell, you got the kids on the ice, and you got a lot of kids in the stands as well. And that's what these weekends are all about.
It really is. I mean, I remember going to Brandon weekend games when I was a kid, and that's those memories are ones that you make. So now you see the NHL jerseys, and we're going to see another power play out here. Hooking call, I believe, kind of right off the face-off. Yeah, hooking is the call, and the Oilers not thrilled about it. A little bit of a shrug from Grube saying, I'm not sure what I was supposed to do there, but...
See if we can get a second look at it here. It's Grube taking the draw. Oh, that's not sure if I like that call, but if you're the Winnipeg Jets, you definitely like that call. They get their second power play opportunity, but weren't necessarily able to get set in proper formation in the opening. About 90 seconds of that opening power play. Looking for a few more shots on this one. Jaden Grube goes to the box. 2 minutes for hooking. As the Winnipeg Jets look to break out and get set into the Edmonton zone. Yager, who's been dynamite. He gets his pass intercepted by De Jong. 37 has had some good efforts on the PK. Does take a hit from behind there, but looks like it was on the shoulder. And not worse for wear. Lajoie has had a heavy stick so far in this game that makes another good play in his own zone as he burns off the clock a little bit, as the Jets will elect to go with their power play 2 unit. Making a couple of changes at least. Yager remains on. Zhilkin chases in his own dump. But it's Sam O'Reilly who ended up winning it. Great job by Swart to keep it in on the blue line. Zhilkin over, and we have our icebreaker. The Winnipeg Jets are on the board. And it's Daniel Torgerson who gets the Jets on the board. 1-0 Winnipeg, 9:37, and it's courtesy of the man advantage.
Third power play goal of the tournament for the Winnipeg Jets. And Edmonton had done such a good job throughout the penalty kill of when they got the puck, getting it down the ice. And this one is just one that doesn't quite get far enough, and Winnipeg is able to send it in. Then a turnover at that point in the defensive zone on the penalty kill. You're always going to end up in trouble. And you got to feel good for Torgerson, who, like I said earlier, had a bunch of chances in the opening game of the tournament, had nothing go for him, and that one he bangs into the back of the net.
It's going to be Torgerson on the power play just before the midway point, or at least the break in this second period, as that one is played with the high sticks. So it's the Winnipeg Jets up 1-0, courtesy of their number 40, Daniel Torgerson, as we head to our first commercial break of the second period.
The new Flex Club is changing the game when it comes to flexible ticket packages. Save 15% on Hitmen, Wranglers, and Roughnecks tickets, and select the games that work with your schedule. With 3 teams, you have 78 games to choose from. Plus, save on fees, boosting your savings to as high as 30%. Simply select any of the 3 teams, any game, any seat, in any combination that works for your busy schedule. Flex Club. Your tickets, your schedule, your way. Visit flexclub.ca today.
Hey everyone, it's Leon Draisaitl here. told you guys last year that Oktoberfest was going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be even better this year. Go get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Prost.
Flames fans, the future is here. With the announcement of our new arena, Scotia Place, there's no better time to become a Calgary Flames season ticket member. Enjoy savings of up to 40% off single game ticket prices and get exclusive access to events and opportunities to meet the team. Plus, you'll be first in line for Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Be a part of the action live and experience every moment from your very own seat. Head to CalgaryFlames.com/tickets today to secure your spot.
Well, Mitchell, we see a couple of Oiler fans not with smiles on their faces because their team is down one, courtesy of Daniel Torgerson.
Yeah, really nice play by the Winnipeg Jets. Doesn't take advantage of a turnover. And sometimes when you're on the power play, that's just the type of goal that you need. And, you know, we talked to their first power play. They weren't really able to get much set up. And really the second power play was kind of continuing on that trend and up until that turnover.
That's a mishandle in front by the Edmonton defender. Capitalized by the Winnipeg Jets. They capitalized on the power play. We have our first goal of the final match for both of these clubs at the YoungStars Classic. The Oilers 0-2. The Winnipeg Jets 1-1. Their lone victory coming courtesy of an overtime win against the Calgary Flames. Grube, good defensive play. That one was Torgerson in the corner, and Torgerson and a couple of the Oilers kind of giving each other a couple of shots on the back end. I thought that was going to be icing, but that one negated. But Whiskey rims it around, Torgerson. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty, and there's also another mix-up down there. It's Boehm, and I can't see the Winnipeg Jets number, but number 46 was on top of him for a little bit. I believe that was Dylan Anhorn.
Either he or Lewinsky. It's hard to see, but it looks like it's going to be Anhorn that's heading to the box here. They might be taking both.
Both players are directed towards the penalty box. We'll see what the call is here. Might see some 4-on-4 hockey here in Penticton.
I believe you are correct, based on the signal the official just gave to the benches. Likely just coincidental, something roughing likely. Should mention Kevin He and Braden Yeager picking up the assists on that Torgerson goal. So Yeager's been all around it today, like we've kind of said, and kind of throughout the tournament he's been getting better and better. I thought in the opening game he got robbed of an assist because he forced a turnover that led to Chiprikov's goal, but clearly that's the hill I'm dying on, is that one assist in this rookie camp. But good for Yeager to get the recognition of that assist, as well as Jilkin getting it across to Torgerson.
Sam O'Reilly wins that, but it's actually picked up by He, who, as Mitchell mentioned, got an apple on the icebreaker. This has been a good line for the Jets so far in this hockey game, but the Oilers look to combat that and counter it with their top line. Matt Savoy really started to pick up some steam in the back half of yesterday's game against the Calgary Flames for this season's first Battle of Alberta. Picked up a helper. Feet were moving. Shifty player. A big reason why the Oilers elected to trade for him and with the Buffalo Sabres to acquire his services. It's Waugh to Nickel. Won an OHL championship with the London Knights. Also drafted, much like Sam O'Reilly, by the Edmonton Oilers just a couple of months ago at the Sphere in Las Vegas. That was a really cool experience. One of the cool, unique experiences that you get to embark on if you're a part of an NHL traveling contingency. It really offers some unique experiences. The Sphere was no different. And I heard U2 has been playing there quite a bit down at the Vegas Strip as well. But right now it's Max Warner playing to the tune of A Strong Stride right now. That's been on showcase all week long here at the YoungStars Classic. As he gets back, led the rush, and then was the first one back to negate that rush. But it's going to be a fake shot, and Yeager tries to go around Brochu. Does a good job staying with number 29. Perhaps an Oilers defender stick also getting in there, but Yeager unable to capitalize.
Lajoie made a really nice defensive play in the neutral zone.
Nickel with a nice move in front, gets to the slots, but an easy stop by Milic. Had to be sharp there. Positionally sound is Thomas Milic. Hard to see him get out of position. Grube doing a lot of work behind the net so far in this game. Picks up that puck, eventually gets it to the point, but that one does come out as Davidson rims it back around. It's Matvei Petrov. The backhand over to Stefan. Tight shot off the pad of Milic as Grube once again picks it up in the corner. Grube surveying his options, gives it to Peterson. And that one sails over the crossbars. Peterson also drawing in for the first time, or at least was a scratch last game. As Jilic over to Barlow. That one was tipped in front. Good patch stop as we're seeing some back and forth action right now. It's Matvei Petrov over the blue line. A shot as Milic corrals that one on the Winnipeg Jets crest. His 18th stop of the night. 5:41 remaining in this one. In the second.
Mentioned the defensive play by Lajoie. It was because of him that 3-on-1 got broken up. A possible 3-on-1 for Winnipeg. And then this is another great stop by Brochu as Jilkin just takes that center lane, kicks it out to the left to Barlow, and just basically puts himself to the front of the net. You're just trying to grab a little bit of that inside spot to be able to get a deflection on the shot from the flank. Barlow puts it right where it needs to be, but Brochu makes the stop.
Great play there by Danny Jilkin to follow up his play, getting the deflection on it. Brochu equal to the task, and Milic having to compete in the crease and somehow kept that one out. Corbet, as there's some action as Savoy was kind of tangled up in front, but Milic doing a great job of keeping that bagel on the board. The physicality wrapping up as a couple of Oilers converge on the Jets there, but they do get offensive possession. It's King over to the point. King, defenseman, gets it down low. A shot. Zalotti tries to put it in front as King making his way to his right, to his left, but Clattenburg is the one who carries it out at a big hit. This one's going to be a penalty, and the Oilers are responding. That was a big hit behind the net, and Clattenburg immediately takes off the gloves as a lot of equipment on the ice and a lot of fists being thrown right now, Mitchell.
Well, you could feel the temperature of this one in the last minute or so really start to ramp up. It has been a physical one, and I believe it was Dylan Anhorn that came across the ice on Clattenburg and kind of waited for the last second. I think he was trying to wait for him to turn the corner a little bit so he didn't blindside him, and he ends up throwing the check. And the main thing is Clattenburg's up as he got hit into the end boards. This is that great chance in front of the net for Edmonton that results in Milic laying in that position, sprawled out, keeping it off the goal line. It comes across. You can see there's just bodies everywhere, and Milic just diving out with that stick to keep it alive.
Excellent effort there by Milic as the referees converge and see what kind of penalties they're going to make. It's Anhorn and Clattenburg immediately to the box. Anhorn with a big hit, and here's a look at the penalty, Mitchell.
Yeah, you could see Anhorn kind of waiting because he had angled off, and then he was trying to catch him from the side, and I don't think Clattenburg was expecting it because he was already engaged in kind of a one-on-one at that situation, and Anhorn finishing his check into the boards. And of course, we say the main thing is Clattenburg's popped right up, so that would indicate to me that he's feeling okay, but doesn't mean you have to be okay with taking that hit. So he hopped up and defended himself. We'll take, as the officials continue to talk, this is another look at that play on the goal line. That's how close the Oilers come to tying this game. Milic just sprawling across. So you can see the puck gets loose in the crease here and just whacks it away, and Winnipeg getting the first touch on the puck just after Milic clears it.
No doubt that was an excellent play by Milic, but you got to give your hat off to Graham Swart as well, the 21-year-old wearing number 80 for the Winnipeg Jets. He got caught up with Matt Savoy there. I thought he did a good job of at least making it tough for Savoy to get his stick on that, perhaps disrupting the hands and the feet enough where number 22 couldn't capitalize. So a good play there by Swart.
Yeah, absolutely. And at that situation, you're pretty much just doing whatever you can. It's all desperation at that point. But you're right. You're just trying to disrupt as much as you possibly can in the split second that you have to react. And Sword just able to keep Savoy from getting to that puck comfortably. But Thomas Milic with a nice desperation play to whack that thing off the line. And it looks like we're going to go back to 4-on-4 here. Only seeing 2s up on the board. 2 for Clattenburg and then also for Anhorn. And one more look at the hit, because you can see Anhorn's there. He's waiting and he's waiting, and then he finally gets Clattenburg to turn, and then he finishes his check. And then the tempers.
And then the tempers
new level.
were flaring, that is for sure. So by the looks of it, the referee certainly had her right arm up to call the penalty initially on Anhorn, but Clattenburg, of course, immediately taken off the gloves, perhaps called for an unsportsmanlike or a roughing call. We'll see what the PA announcer says as the referees get that settled. And we're back underway. 4.5 minutes remaining in the middle frame. 1-0 Winnipeg. Shots 2018 in favor of Winnipeg. Warner on the right-hand side puts it in deep for Groob. Groob in the corner, doing a bunch of his leg work. Once again, Mitchell down at the goal line. Number 42 has been noticeable down low. But it is the Winnipeg Jets as Kuzmin, his pass, takes a deflection. Once again, picked up by Warner. Warner tries to make a move as Jilkin, showcasing his defensive prowess there. Good feet there, and a good move in front by Yeager, and Brochu stops the door as Yeager once again buzzing all around the blue crease as number 29 looks to extend the lead, but Brochu says no.
Yeah, and I didn't think Kuzmin had enough on this puck to be able to get it down to Yeager for him to make a play, and makes a nice little one-handed play to get it down to Yeager. You can see Jilkin gets that zone entry and just kind of pops up. At 4-on-4, you got a little bit more space to work with, and Jilkin makes the most of that, and then Yeager with a good hard net drive to the front, but Brochu with a really nice stop.
Sam O'Reilly wins the draw against Kevin He as the Oilers get a defensive face-off win, and now a controlled breakout as it's O'Reilly's teammate in London, Nickel, with the cross-ice pass to Corbet. 2 Jets. 3 Jets now to 2 Oilers in the corner, and they come out on top. It's Mayo. Mayo with a nice spin around on Nickel as Colin Chalk electing to go with 2 London Knight teammates on that 4-on-4. And now over the boards, it's Matt Savoy. But with the puck is Chibrikov. Shot off the left wing side, easily handled by Brochu. As the Oilers now survey and both teams complete their changes. Matt Savoy, a dynamic player looking for Wakely. 2023 CHL Humanitarian of the Year. The content of character of number 59 certainly high. The Jets, a little wraparound attempt. Clattenburg comes out of the box. And on his stick is the puck as he puts it behind the Winnipeg Jets defenseman. 2.5 minutes remaining in the middle frame. Still 1-0 score as the Jets chasing that one down as Torgerson, since scoring that goal, has really had his Jets moving as number 40 continues to build on what is an impressive second period. Steffen. Poke check by Mayo. Matvey Petrov behind the net now. Backhand pass in front to Groob, and a good stop by Milic. Once again on the left side. That left pad has been very active in the middle frame. Warner, nice little spin around at the point. Elects to take it on the backhand below the goal line. Looks in front for Petrov. That's the right man, but unable to pull the trigger. Mayo over to his D partner, to Torgerson, who was back for Kuzmin. And Kuzmin taking a few extra seconds, now being chased down by De Jong. And it looks like there's a delayed penalty on the Edmonton Oilers, so the Winnipeg Jets now have 6 attackers and a power play incoming.
Yeah, likely from the play just outside of the zone on Torgerson.
Niikanen led that one in, and it's Yager. Braden Yager. It's been very good. Has it on his stick now. Chooses to pass it across to King as the referees deemed that to be in possession as the Oilers touched the puck, but will be going to the box. Once again, it will be, I believe that is 46. Yes, it is. So it's going to be Braden Bame who gets the call as the Winnipeg Jets, the lone marker on the power play. They get another opportunity in the middle frame here, Mitchell.
And it's an unfortunate end to the shift for Edmonton because I really like the thought process of Colin Chalk putting Grube on the ice. That's it right there. You can see the trip. It's just going to finish the check and getting all legs. But I really like the play of Colin Chalk putting Grube back on the ice, coming out of the 4-on-4. Yes, he's with different line mates, but he's probably been one of the more dynamic Oilers, especially below the goal line in terms of puck battles. So once again, they were in the Winnipeg zone, but it ends with a penalty.
O'Reilly loses the draw, so it's the Jets who get the puck and a couple of chances. Brochu doing a great job of sticking that one. Made 2 or 3 saves there. The last one, definitely the most difficult. Chevrikov over to Zalotti. 39 seconds remaining in the frame. Still 1:40, so if the Jets don't score yet, a good shot by Brochu. It's just about a save. If they don't score, they'll have some power play opportunity, but Zhilkin heard me from the broadcast booth and tried to go for it.
Well, it's just another turnover situation where Edmonton kind of had the ability to clear the puck, and Winnipeg pounced on it, was able to get the first touch, and they get the puck to the net. It all kind of starts off of a nice face-off win. You'll take that every time on the power play. And then it's just pucks to the net, right? Banging away at it is Torgerson. And I think this Barlow chance was probably Brochu's best save of the whole sequence because you've already made a couple of stops, and all of a sudden this puck kicks to your left, and you've got to be able to get over there and against a 40-goal guy like Barlow. So a great stop.
Great stop indeed. He's got a great release. It's King with a shot. Talk about a great release. That one hits iron as King looking to extend the lead, but the right post saying no. Yager looking for that one takes a deflection off the stick of De Jong. And that one goes out of play with 13 seconds remaining in this one. I wonder if the Winnipeg Jets, of course, this is a fresh group together, if they have any set plays for only 13 seconds remaining with the right-hand face-off in the offensive zone.
It does seem to look like they've tried to play for that pass/shot from the flank into the middle of the ice and try to see if they can either get the deflection or bang away at a rebound. It's kind of fundamental power play stuff, but when you're at this level, sometimes it's just doing the simple things well will generate some of your best opportunities.
It was Yager versus Wakely on that draw, and Wakely wins it, and that's going to do it for the second frame. The Winnipeg Jets up 1-0, courtesy of a power play goal. And some usual suspects all involved on that marker as well, Mitchell.
Yeah, names that we've been, saying throughout this game, and Danny Zhilkin getting the primary assist, and Braden Yager as well. And Daniel Torgerson, I thought, had a really good second period. Obviously, he gets the goal for Winnipeg, but he was also noticeable in a number of areas of the ice and has been part of Winnipeg's power play here that had a little bit more net front presence with him kind of sitting there, banging away on a couple of chances. So no doubt Edmonton coming in to regroup and try to tie this game up in the third.
Thomas Milic has turned aside all 19 Edmonton shots directed his way, including one right near the goal line in the blue paint. He's been excellent. So has Brett Brochu. However, he did have one beat him off the stick of Daniel Torgerson once again on the power play, and that's a lone goal we have as we are going to head into another intermission with the score of 1-0. We have a Jets pack coming up, courtesy from Jets TV. Let's take a look at what the content team from the Winnipeg Jets are up to here in the second intermission.
We're going to a little lake called Duck Lake. This guy, his name is Mike. He runs a show on Discovery.
Welcome to the Bass Watch Hunter, Fish Out of Water.
Fish on!
We share our love for fishing with our guests, and then we show off what they do, making us both a fish out of water.
This sounded like it might be fun and good to do, just get some experience in a different light. And
It's freezing in Canada. I do a lot of ice fishing, but I'm here to try out kayak fishing.
Well, today was an amazing day. I got to not only meet one of my heroes, but I got to watch him catch some fish in a kayak for his first time.
It was really cool just seeing everything kind of unfold and being in a kayak and being close and chatting and having the GoPros on. And every fish was almost like 10 because it was such a production. And yeah, you had to make sure you landed, you had to talk about it, and it was a pretty cool experience.
The only thing we have in common with all of our guests is that we've all followed our dreams to do something, and to be able to showcase someone like Connor and all he's accomplished hopefully inspires a lot of people to do the same thing.
Thanks for the sub.
We're off to a summer skate at Lakeland Arena. I grew up there. I played high school there. Pretty much played all growing up there. So we're going to head off to my old stomping grounds. The place is pretty much the same as when I grew up.
There you go.
Stan Bowman media availability. Today's run of show, we'll just have both Stan and Leon make short statements before opening things up to questions. To ask a question, please use the raised hand function. We will allow one question and one follow-up. We do have a large number of people in the room. We'll try to get through as many people as we can today. With that, I'll turn it over to Stan Bowman. Go ahead, Stan.
Thanks, Jamie. Welcome, everyone. Great to be on the call here today. I just want to start by saying I'm thrilled to be able to announce that Leon's going to be an Edmonton Oiler. This was my top priority since I took over a month or so ago, and it's great times for everybody in Edmonton and all the Oilers fans around the world. I've had the pleasure of watching Leon as a fan the last couple of years, and he sure is great to watch all the special things he does on the ice, and he's a competitive guy. He wants to win. And he wants to win for the Edmonton Oilers, which is the way I feel as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to Leon.
First of all, thanks everyone for joining today. First of all, I'd like to thank the Cates family, Daryl, Renee, Harrison, Chloe, the kids, for believing in me and, committing to me and committing to my family for a long time. And, I take great pride in being an Oiler and, always obviously wear my heart on my sleeve. But, I love nothing more but wearing that jersey and representing our city and our great fans. So I'm really, really happy and excited to, hopefully be an Oiler for life.
Thank you, Leon. With that, we'll take our first question. We'll go to Jason Greger. Go ahead, Jason.
This one's for Leon. Leon, congratulations. I'm not going to say a negotiation like this is ever easy, but did you always want to stay in Edmonton, from Connor, the team, and just can you maybe comment on, signing in the actual city itself?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a lot of chatter in these conversations and in these negotiations. I think we all know that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's always very respectful and there's no real big hiccups as far as I know, and just what we've built over the last couple of years and how at home I feel in Edmonton. I don't know anything other than Edmonton, and I feel super proud and excited to wear that jersey every single day. And like I said earlier, I take great pride in playing for our city, for our fans. And I think we're building something really special. And that's just something that, I want to continue to be a part of and hopefully, get it one step further.
One last one for you, and I guess, Stan, you mentioned this is your biggest priority. When you look at Leon's contract and obviously Connor and Darnell Nurse, and then you have Evan Bouchard, some people wonder if you can have four guys at that combined cap hit, but Florida just did, and Tampa Bay's done it. Do you feel it's
you can have both of, high-end guys and the depth to win?
Well, I think the simple answer to that question is yes. The more important part of it is, players like Leon are special. Like, it's just there's not many people in the world that can play hockey like he does, and there's no way we could ever replace what Leon brings to the table. So he's a huge part of our team. He has been, and he will continue to be. And for me, it was never a question. Certainly, there's going to be challenges in the future, but that's for us to figure out down the road. I think right now, the most important thing was to make sure, number one, that he wanted to be in Edmonton, and I think that's something we should all focus on as well. He made this decision. I mean, certainly it was my number one priority, but it took a cooperation with Leon wanting to be in Edmonton. And when that was obvious to me after talking to him, and, he just wants to win. I had a chance to, getting to know him better. And the thing that really stuck out to me is he's super competitive, and what drives him is winning. So when I hear those things, we'll figure the other stuff out down the road. But for now, we're just thrilled that he's with us.
Thank you. We'll go to Jack Michaels from 630 Ched.
Hi, Leon. Congratulations. I'm just curious, was there a sequence of time, maybe it was 2 years ago, maybe it was 4 years ago, where it became evident to you, or you started to feel like, I'd rather stay in Edmonton than go shopping, than test the market? Because that can be appealing on both sides. I'm just curious, was there a sequence of time where you started to feel like, I can't imagine leaving here?
I think that just evolved over time. I think when you, as a young kid, as an 18-year-old kid, you start to really love, being with a team, and especially the team that drafted you. You develop, a love for that team. And, for me, it was always the Oilers, and obviously we haven't gotten the job done yet, which makes it, to me, even more special, right? Like, we're going to do this together. We're all pulling on the same rope here. And I'm just, again, excited to be a part of it, and excited to keep, chipping away at the ultimate goal. And, we all know what that is. And just over the years, what we've built with our group, how tight we are with our group, all the new guys that are continuously coming in, they all say the same things about our group, about our city. They love playing in Edmonton. And I think we've created that over the last couple of years, and that's very special, and looking to continue that.
Thank you, Leon. And Stan, just a quick one for you. I think, I asked you about, in terms of trying to extend the championship window and giving yourself as many cracks at it as possible. You seem to indicate Leon was the first giant step in doing that, and hopefully giving this team another 5 or 6 looks at it. Is that how you kind of approach this negotiation?
Definitely. I think that's true. I mean, all you have to do is watch the team on the ice to see what an important role he plays on the team, not just last year, but the last several years. So when you look at that, there's no question that we want to make sure he stays, and it's our job to try to surround him with the best players we can and give our team the best chance to win. But absolutely, I think you stated it very well.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Thank you. Leon, it's hard to describe $14 million as taking a little bit less, but the fact is that there probably could have been more for a player of your stature. The question I have is this: nobody knows more than you and Connor that a 2-man team doesn't win. So when you're going into a contract negotiation, how do you weigh being paid what you're worth, but saving enough so Stan can build a team around you that can win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, it's a fine line. And I think that's, where negotiations normally, probably get to a standstill, right? And it doesn't go any further. But I think both sides, like I said early on, were very respectful and way this was negotiated and the wants and needs for both sides. And I think you're bang on. We know how you can't win with 2, 3, 4 man rosters. That's just not it's just not possible in this league. This league's too good. So I'm very happy it's done. It's over with. I can focus on playing my game and continuing to get better and play my best hockey, especially when it matters most.
You said to me in January that at the end of the day, you and Connor will do what's best for each of you. But you also said you'd be having discussions with Connor before you made this deal. How much can you let us in on, you and Connor, and he's got to sign next year, and your conversations about you signing long term, and how much of a duo are you guys in this thing?
Yeah, I mean that's still the case. Like, Connor's going to do what's best for him, right? Like that's just the way this works, and it's supposed to work that way. I did what I thought was best for me personally. Do I hope that Connor follows along? I'd be lying that no, but of course I want him to stay on board, and I want all our pieces to stay on board. But at the end of the day, I did what's best for me. Obviously, having talked to him, we've had numerous conversations about it. But yeah, obviously I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want him to stick around for a long time as well.
I think we'll go to Ryan Shog from TSN.
Hey, Leon, congrats on the deal. Can you maybe just describe the two elements to this, wanting to win a Stanley Cup and be with an organization that you think, has the strength and the personnel to do that, and that being important, but also the other side, which is, you guys have kind of come up together, a core group, and, you're starting families and at weddings, and it seems like you built something on the personal side here too, and how much each of those factor in when you make this decision.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, we've created friendships over the last couple of years. Our wives, fiancés, girlfriends have created friendships, forever lasting friendships over the last couple of years. And that's really, really special. Our main priority is to win, of course. That's, you can ask Connor, Darnell, Nuge, Heimo, everyone, all the guys. We all want to win. But I think what we've created off the ice is almost just as important, right? People want to come here, and when they do come, it's hard for them to leave now. And I think we've created that over the last couple of years, and that's something that we're really, really proud of. But the main priority is to win a Stanley Cup. But certainly have made some lifelong friends along the way.
I imagine you took some time to process everything, but as you guys have gotten together this summer and been together as a group, you sort of processed how close you were and what the steps are to get you over the hump. What were those conversations like when you guys sort of regrouped together?
Yeah, I mean, it took some time. That was a pretty gut-wrenching feeling for a little bit. Obviously, there's a sense of being proud of what we did, but at the end of the day, nobody talked about the Edmonton Oilers, right? And our goal and what we all want is the last day of the season for everyone to talk about us. And we took some really big steps this season. I think we added some really, really good pieces this summer. Of course, unfortunately, lost some really good players, but that's part of the business. And I really like the way our team looks right now, and I'm excited to get going.
Bob Stauffer, 630 Ched.
Stan, you negotiated Taves and Kane at a time in which maybe Cap was chasing the revenue. Was this negotiation a little bit different? Because in a way, you can make an argument right now, maybe the revenue's chasing the Cap a little. And did that get factored in terms of, the price point you eventually were able to settle with Mike Liut and Andy Scott?
Yeah, I think I'll touch on something Leon mentioned earlier, which is, it was great dealing with Mike and Andy. I thought, it was very respectful negotiations. And, as any negotiation, there's always some challenges that you have to navigate together. But I thought it was a great process, and I enjoyed working with them. You're right, Bob. I think the financial landscape of the league is a little different than it's been. In a positive way, as far as the revenues have been tremendous the last few years. And, coming out of the pandemic, there was the situation of, paying back, the players paying back the owners for those first years of the pandemic. We're beyond that now. And
power play as well.
And Mitchell, it would not be a stretch to say this has been a goaltender's duel. Of course, Milic, I almost called him Milicic, not again, Milic. 19 stops for him, decorated trophy case when coming out of junior, and now with the Manitoba Moose. And Brochu on the other end, well, he's got an AHL contract, and right now he's making some noise in that blue crease as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 24 saves so far, and he's obviously, you look at the shot totals being 25-19 in favor of Winnipeg. He's been the busier goaltender, but a lot of it hasn't been easy, right? Winnipeg's got some big bodies that they've put in front of the net, and they've been hacking and whacking away. He's done a really nice job of being able to track pucks through that traffic and really move well in the crease in terms of, desperation, mobility. You think of the Barlow chance that came after a scrub in front of the net. All of a sudden, that puck's kicked over to your left, and you got to shoot straight sideways and make a desperation save. And he's even made that look relatively, we'll say, easy, even though Barlow, a guy that knows what he's doing when it comes to putting the puck in the net.
Jilkin and Grube converge at the faceoff dot, won by the Edmonton Oilers as they get the third period started. 52 seconds remaining in the Winnipeg Jets power play. The lone marker so far, courtesy of that man advantage. Here comes the Jets up the ice, electing to go in the corner as Chibrikov, who had an active first period, a little bit quieter in the second, gets things going and the motor running for this Jets offense. It's De Jong up with Lajoie to his left and Grube to his right. De Jong going to the net. Grube tries to get it to Lajoie, but that one's far behind him. Now it's a 4-on-1 the other way. 4-on-2 now. Over to cross to Barlow. Mishandles it. But Brochu doing a great job of maintaining that blocker on the ice. Otherwise, that could have been a tricky shot. Barlow looks a little skyward there. Jets looking to get out in front. Barlow once again on it, but De Jong doing a good job of beating him to that puck, as that was a prime opportunity, Mitchell, for the Winnipeg Jets to extend the lead.
Yeah, Barlow, a left shot coming in on that right wing, just not quite able to corral that pass on the 2-on-1. It just kind of bounces off his stick.
He on the left-hand side, chasing it. As his line mate, this has been a great line for the Jets. He, Yager, had an excellent afternoon so far here in Penticton. Bame all over Kuzmin there. He gets him far back behind his back there, and that kind of gave him the torque to get the shot off. It was a hard shot, but did not make it all the way through. It will not register as a shot on net as Sam O'Reilly flips it up. Unfortunately for him, it hits the Penticton V scoreboard. And I got to say, the South Okanagan Event Center, this is some kind of barn for a junior A hockey team. It's right up there amongst one of my favorites, especially when it comes to character and also the presentation and feel in this building.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you stand where we are here in the broadcast booth, and right in front of you is about, 30 banners. So just a little bit of success. That's just on one side of the building, let alone the banners on the other side.
Some recognizable names also in the Ring of Honor here. We'll touch on that more in shortly as Anhorn with a shot. And Brochu's got his helmet off. He's trying to get his helmet is in his catcher. He's trying to get the attention of the ref, as not yet looked over to his right finally, but I think they initially called it for an icing. An interesting scenario there for the Oilers netminder.
Yeah, and Jets fans will be very familiar with this. The rule at the National Hockey League level is if the mask comes off, your team needs to get possession. And, Winnipeg had a pretty I don't know, they ended up winning the game, so it would be memorable. But against Dallas, where the Stars were able to tie it just shortly after Connor Hellebuck's mask came off, and it started a big conversation in and around that. You could see Edmonton had the puck. There was no imminent kind of scoring chance coming, and I think the official just didn't hear Brochu shouting.
That's an interesting. It's an interesting wrinkle in the rules that the other team or you have to get possession, especially if you're a goaltender, because the shot is going to come your way if they don't notice it right away. So an interesting wrinkle for sure, but all in all, Brochu is okay, and we're back underway. 17:27 remaining in the final frame of this one as the Edmonton Oilers, led by Matvei Petrov here, and Wakely looking to get things going. And we have seen pockets and bursts of the Edmonton Oilers, Mitchell, maintaining a little bit more possession. However, they need to do that a little bit more frequently. But between the blue, it's safe to say that the Winnipeg Jets have been a little bit more structured than the Oilers.
Yeah, just a little bit more organized in the neutral zone, and that, can obviously dictate how you're coming into the other end with speed. And I would imagine the third period is probably going to be a little bit of a point of focus for Winnipeg, given how their game went against Vancouver. They went into the third tied at 2. Vancouver picked up 2 goals to win that game 4-2, and Coach Mark Morris had said, it just didn't seem like we had the same amount of jump in that third period. So no doubt something that was talked about in the intermission.
Yeah, no doubt. Ran out a little bit of gas there, but some fresh bodies and fresh legs into the lineup. 4 forwards for the Winnipeg Jets, drawing in from their last game, and 1 defenseman. That 1 defenseman being Swart, and he's had a pretty nice afternoon for himself. Yager retrieves it in his own blue line as the Jets stream upwards on the left-hand side. Negated by Savoy, and O'Reilly. Double teaming there to cause a turnover. However, the Oilers not able to get it over the red line. De Jong. That one easily played by Yager as he's heading off, as Kuzmin didn't have any reinforcements with them, as the Oilers and Jets now finally complete their line changes. Warner. Down low is Grube, as he often does. Found himself below the goal line. Couldn't make anything happen in terms of a turnover or ruffling some feathers, as the Jets got out clean, and that was a clean pass to King as it goes right between his legs. Now King, right-hand shot, gives it to Golder. Golder to Kuzmin. Down low on the goal line. Kuzmin electing to pass that one. Could have gone all the way around, and there's a couple of bodies on the far side, but tries to get it to Golder. The Oilers sticks getting in the way. It's Waugh, the defenseman in the QMJHL. You're on a camp tryout. Gets it out and goes for a change, and King. It's a good shift by this line for the Winnipeg Jets. It's Peterson, left-hand side. Talk about players drawing in. He also draws in this weekend here for the Oilers. So we have 15 and a half minutes remaining in the final frame. 1-0 is the score. 27-19 the shots in favor of Winnipeg. Both goaltenders have been sharp. Torgerson, the goal scorer, up to Nikkanen. Nikkanen has Lewinsky going to the net. It's a shot easily handled by Brochu, as the Jets now applying some pressure. A battle in the corner, 3 Oilers to 2 Jets, and the Oilers come out away. Here comes Boehm. Boehm just has 1 defender to beat, tries to shoot on the glove hand side, but Milic on top of the crease really got out there about 1 or 2 feet in front of the crease, made himself big, and comes up with a big save himself there, Mitchell.
Yeah, nice little play along the walls, too, by Edmonton to set that chance up. And as we just saw in that replay, the puck that ends up going through the legs of Ben King right on that back door play. And King's a guy that, knows how to put the puck on the net. He led the WHL in goals in 2022, and season after was kind of inhibited by injury, but a player that could certainly be dangerous in that area.
Great job by Kevin He, surrounded by 3 Oilers sweaters, but still got his stick on the puck, and now the Jets have possession in the zone. He with the shot, blocker stop by Brochu. As the Oilers now maintain possession and go up the right-hand flank, it's Matvei Petrov with 2 guys in front. Stefan asking for it. Petrov electing to shoot, hits the side of the net. That will not register as a shot on goal, but Milic was there. Lajoie, former Oil King. Now it's he. He, surveying his options, takes a stop. It's a shot from King. That one blocked by Stefan. Bame tries to go inside. He had a couple of good rushes there. A late poke there. Watch, we're going to get a little bit of a scruff in front, courtesy of a late tap on the glove by Wakely in front. A few bodies in front of the blue crease here.
One thing I will note is it is Dominic DiVincentis in goal for the Winnipeg Jets here in the third period.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, played with North Bay, had a really tremendous career, and then the year after his draft, the lower body injury ended his playoffs. He was really surging coming on in that second half, and just unfortunate to have the season end. And had a really good chat with him a couple of days ago about how his summer went. He said he kind of took it a little bit slow to start and make sure the injury was fully recovered, and he was feeling good, but now he's back to feeling himself.
We're going to read who here to the right of DiVincentis. So anytime there's a goaltender change, I usually notice with the equipment. However, DiVincentis and Milic, it looks like they're using the exact same scheme almost in net, just a slight difference on the top of the pad. That's me. I'm an equipment nerd like that. That's
Love it.
How I identify players out there. It's Wah. Shot from the points. Now the Oilers are starting to generate some offense near the goal line. That shot courtesy of Clattenburg. And Bames have himself a nice third period. He gets a look alongside Grube and Clattenburg. Bame does a couple of shoulder checks, turns in the corner, finds Clattenburg. That one is blocked in front, and the Winnipeg Jets start storming the other way.
Oilers having to be careful by their bench with the puck there.
There's a couple of, as Grube takes a nasty hit, as he was not suspecting that because he had his hands full with another Jets player. And there is going to be a delayed penalty, and the mitts have been dropped. It's Grube. I did not catch the license plate of the Winnipeg Jets player there. I'm not sure if you did.
I think it's Colby Barlow, but
just on the board there.
Grube's gloves came off, and then I think Barlow was more just going for the tie up there. But nonetheless, I do believe it's going to be Winnipeg that ends up shorthanded, because I believe it was the shot by Chibrikov that was the initial reason for the arm to go up. But both Barlow and Grube will head off.
I think it was a little bit worse than it looked because Grube was just had his hands full with another Jets player. I believe that was Chibrikov. And then Barlow came in, and Grube just wasn't expecting it, fell to his knees, and the referee deemed it was enough to warrant a penalty as Matvei Petrov awaiting instructions, seeing if his team will get a chance on the man advantage.
Looking like it's just going to be the two players that went back and forth. Maybe adding one more. No, it was just because it looked like initially that it was going to be Chibrikov because you see the Oiler player go down, but perhaps the officials also seeing that Chibrikov is getting a bit of a hard ride coming off the ice, going for the line change. Couple Oilers getting a shot in on him. So here comes the second player. This is kind of what I was thinking, because they did have the one extra minor up on the board for Winnipeg. So you wondered if there wouldn't be a power play opportunity for Edmonton, and it looks like exactly what we're going to get.
First chance for the Edmonton Oilers as they'll have 2 minutes to try to tie this one up with one extra man on the ice. 13:05 remaining in this one, 1-0 Edmonton. Winnipeg got their goal on the power play. We'll see if the Oilers can respond accordingly. It's Lajoie to Petrov. Petrov usually on the left-hand flank on this power play. Over to Savoy, back up to Lajoie. Sam O'Reilly, head up, shot as in front. Stefan redirected it wide. It's Sam O'Reilly. A shot into the corner. Matvei Petrov up to the point to Lajoie. Lajoie shot. And that's a stop in front as the Oilers look to maintain possession. And it's the Winnipeg Jets coming out of their zone with 2. Two tired bodies as Torgerson and Niikanen elect to go off, and the Oilers regroup and look to get a little bit more possession. Petrov, Savoy play a little back and forth. Sam O'Reilly behind the net with his first round pick. Over to James Steffen. Steffen at his pass, trickle into the corner. That one sent down by Dawson Borto.
And I don't know about you, but I saw Sam O'Reilly below the goal line, and now my head just thinks of Michigan's coming every single time.
Oh, we would love to see it, wouldn't we? Gotta love when we see the Michigan, especially, sorry, it's eluding me right now, but a Philadelphia Flyers camp in front of Tortorella. More on that in just a second. It's Warner. Down low to Nickel. Nickel tries to find Clattenburg at the goal line. The Winnipeg Jets getting in the way. Clattenburg on his backhand. Tries to find De Jong. Now the Oilers have a little bit more support. Warner and Wakely play a little give and go. Wakely tries to go cross ice to Nickel. That one hits a stick and goes out. But the Russian, I'm sorry, it's eluding my name right now. The Philadelphia Flyer Russian prospect. I can't remember what it was, but at rookie camp, he tries to go for the Michigan. And Tortorella is sitting 10 rows away in front of him. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, it's a brand new skill level, really. Like we've seen it kind of evolve over the last number of years, but now there's a number of players on your roster that are going to be capable of pulling that move off. It's a totally other thing to do it in the game. It absolutely is, but you just have more and more players that are capable of pulling something like that. So that's why when I saw O'Reilly below the goal line, it's the first place that my head goes now.
It's amazing the skill on some of these kids these days.
Yeah, I know.
Eh? Just evolving the game, and the game is in a good place. It's never been faster. It's never been more skilled. As the National Hockey League prepares itself for the 24-25 season, lots of intriguing storylines. Among them, of course, Sportsnet coming out with their power rankings. The Edmonton Oilers, #1 so far heading into the season. Quote-unquote Stanley Cup favorites, according to the professionals and experts over at Sportsnet. And the Winnipeg Jets, I always say they have a chance with the world's best goaltender, Connor Hellebuck. He's certainly playing like it over the course of the last few seasons. They always have a chance each and every night. Number 37 is in the lineup among some other top-end talent there. Nickel. Applying some pressure and causes a little bit of a conundrum for the Winnipeg Jets, who are not able to get back on their feet as the Oilers once again find themselves down and hemmed in their zone. Torgerson, the goal scorer. Did a lot of good work down low. Connor Levis comes in to help out, as does Borto. Instead, it's going to be Davidson for the Oilers. Skating up end, kind of mishandles the puck, but no danger behind him, so the Oilers regroup, and away we go, right to left. It's Desjardins pulls up, shoots. Nickel going to the net, follows up, and there could have been a trip there. Nickel asking for it, looking at the ref. As we head into our first break and final break of this game. First break of the third period, final break into the game altogether, which sees a 1-0 score for the Winnipeg Jets. Shots 29-24. Edmonton looking to get back in this. They have an offensive zone draw when we come back on the other side of this break.
The new Flex Club is changing the game when it comes to flexible ticket packages. Save 15% on Hitmen, Wranglers, and Roughnecks tickets, and select the games that work with your schedule. With 3 teams, you have 78 games to choose from. Plus, save on fees, boosting your savings to as high as 30%. Simply select any of the 3 teams, any game, any seat, in any combination that works for your busy schedule. Flex Club. Your tickets, your schedule, your way. Visit flexclub.ca today.
Hey everyone, it's Leon Draisaitl here. Told you guys last year that Oktoberfest was going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be even better this year. Go get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Prost.
Flames fans, The future is here. With the announcement of our new arena, Scotia Place, there's no better time to become a Calgary Flames season ticket member. Enjoy savings of up to 40% off single game ticket prices and get exclusive access to events and opportunities to meet the team. Plus, you'll be first in line for Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Be a part of the action live and experience every moment from your very own seat. Head to CalgaryFlames.com/tickets today to secure your spot.
We're back in Penticton. 1-0 is the score as we come out of our final break of this hockey game. It's been an entertaining hockey game, a goaltender's duel. Of course, Milic getting the start for the Winnipeg Jets in the third period. It will be Dominic DiVincentis in goal, rocking the number 50. I always love when goaltenders rock a little bit of a unique number. Of course, this one probably out of their control, probably handed these numbers, but I'm liking the fact that in the National Hockey League, we're starting to see a little bit more unique numbers when it comes to the goaltenders. Of course, for the Oilers, most notably, recently, number 19, Mikko Koskinen. When's the last time you've seen a goaltender wear number 19? But this time, it's number 50 of the Winnipeg Jets. And, of course, it's Braden Yeager, who has been arguably the best Winnipeg Jets player on the ice, the best player on the ice so far in this hockey game. Come training camp on Wednesday, where can we expect him to compete when it comes to the depth chart for the Winnipeg Jets and what the outlook is for him in 24-25?
Yeah, I mean, he was one of those players that a lot of, the Winnipeg Jets veterans were kind of curious about. I know Yeager said he got texts from the entire Jets leadership group and Lowry, Scheifele, and Morrissey. So he said that's the kind of thing that makes you feel belong, especially when you're coming to a newer organization. So we'll see. I mean, he's obviously a young guy in Winnipeg, a more veteran roster. So he'll just be looking to try to get some experience, I think, and try to take that next step and become even more prolific offensively. But one of the main things that you learn, I think, as a young player coming into training camp is just the importance of all the things away from the puck or even away from the ice. There's all these little details to the game, and then everything's just faster, right? Everybody's bigger and faster. So he's been to a training camp before with Pittsburgh. He told a funny story about, being with Sidney Crosby, and he just said, I was just trying to stay out of the way. So he's got a good sense of humor.
Well, Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins getting that contract extension out of the way. 2 years at $8.7 million. It's amazing. Since his ELC, he's at an 8.7 AAV for the rest of his NHL career. And hopefully, as Canadians, we see that NHL career prolonged. Says he's more open to playing in his 40s at the NHL Media Tour down in Vegas. As the Winnipeg Jets get a good shot off the stick of Barlow, who has also been impressive here today, Mitchell.
Yeah, he's had a couple of offensive chances. It's kind of been how his tournament has gone. He had the rush chance that ends up coming off of his stick. He had the rebound opportunity earlier in the game as well. And this is just a nice piece of puck movement by Winnipeg, where Barlow gets it, just sends it to the net. Chibrikov is going to be able to get first touch in the corner here, makes a nice move, drives to the front of the net, and the puck ends up on the stick of Barlow. But as he's been for the majority of the game, all but one shot, Brochu has the answer.
Chibrikov, not afraid to take the puck to the net. I like that move he made in the corner, taking it right to the blue paint, creating an offensive chance for the Jets. It's Petrov trying to get the puck out of his zone. Now has it, gives it to Davidson. Davidson back to Petrov, who moves it up. And Stefan is met with Kuzmin. Kuzmin's been skating back and forth, right and left, all over the ice, number 59 of the Winnipeg Jets. Of course, once again, the OT winner against Calgary on Friday. The Jets over the blue line. Lewitzki down to Togerson. Togerson looking for a man in front. Nikkanen, and we're starting to see a little bit more rough stuff in front. Their final chance to make an impression.
And Petrov makes a nice it's a very subtle defensive play. He just kind of puts his stick into a passing lane. Winnipeg, there's a little bit of a soft area in the middle of the ice, and a backhand pass from below the goal line out front was available, but because Petrov got his stick on it, it ends up just kind of sitting in the crease where Brochu can handle it, and otherwise it's another high quality chance for Winnipeg. So good on Petrov. Sometimes just having your stick in a dangerous area on the ice, you're able to break up some plays.
Julian and Grube on the dot, and it's Grube who wins it in the defensive zone as the Oilers. That's a misfire on the pass, and we do it all over again, Mitchell.
Yeah, that one was a no-doubter. If my teammate's not getting it, nobody's getting this thing. Last thing you want, if you mentioned the last chance to kind of make that impression, the last thing you want in a 1-0 game is to turn the puck over when you had a chance to make a play. So Edmonton would gladly take just another face-off, a chance to reset.
Grube wins the draw once again. Puck handled by Max Warner. Warner had a couple of strong seasons for the Moose Jaw Warriors before turning pro last year with the Bakersfield Condors. Head coach Colin Chalk admitting that number 88 struggled a little bit to begin the year, much as you would anticipate. You're 19, 20 years old, kind of playing your first pro season. You're tasked with a few more minutes than you're accustomed to at the pro level. That's just the American Hockey League. And once you get that feeling out process, it's amazing what can happen once you start feeling a little bit more comfortable with your own game at that level.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially at that age, you're going in and you're playing up against players that are 28, 29, even into their 30s, right? Like, it's just a completely different ball game.
Warner over to his D partner, Lajoie, who's getting a look on the top pair alongside the Oilers draft pick. Lajoie down low as the Winnipeg Jets storm up. Good heads-up play by Warner to step in that lane and deliver a check. Otherwise, it could have been a 2-on-1 for the Jets. O'Reilly across to Savoy. Warner, Savoy, Clattenburg, O'Reilly, all attacking the line at the same time. O'Reilly in front to Clattenburg. Couldn't get the stick on it, and that one is turned aside. Corbet, 3 fights in 3 games. Camp tryout for the Oilers. King, looking on the left-hand side. Beautiful draw weight on that. That looks great as the Oilers looking to hit Jilkin, but he's doing a good job of eluding every body check that comes his way. Here comes Kuzmin. Kuzmin electing to carry it in. He thought about firing it in, but he saw some Jets players skating in with them, and now it's Jurgen. Tries to pass it across as this line has been as dominant as they come at this tournament. Jaeger. A shot from the right-hand side, easily handled by Brochu, is number 29. Must be at 5, 6, maybe even 7 shot attempts so far in this hockey game.
Yeah, absolutely. And another opportunity where Barlow goes to the front of the net. And you got guys on a line in Chiprikov and Jaeger that are tough to deal with in the offensive zone. This is another opportunity that we saw from Petrov, trying to go that high short side on DiVincentis. Closing that up nicely. Kind of catches the side of the net a little bit.
Braden Jaeger from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Torgerson. A shot that doesn't make it all the way through. Still picked up by his teammate. As the Jets get the cycle going, or at least the down low play. As Mayo. Over to Torgerson, the goal scorer. Feeds it down low. That one intercepted by De Jong. Desjardins. Desjardins gets that puck out. The Oilers choosing to change. The Jets looking to capitalize here as Torgerson fires it in on the right side of Brochu. Grube couldn't quite get to that puck as the Jets maintain possession, and that one is tipped in front. It's Henry Nikkanen extending the lead for the Winnipeg Jets. 5:01 remaining in this one, and the Winnipeg Jets capitalize on a turnover that was created by moving their feet. Nikkanen, the beneficiary.
Yeah, it's just great work along the walls that kind of gives Winnipeg possession off this entry. You can see Torgerson fires this one down into the Edmonton end, and then it's just a couple of battles, and then Winnipeg ends up with it. And Barlow's literally just sending this thing towards the net. He knows he's got Nikkanen there. Nikkanen's not a small guy. He gets really nice positioning there, and he's just able, a small little deflection is all it was. And that's all that was needed to make it 2-0.
Great work there by the Winnipeg Jets. Just kept their feet moving. Good things happen when you keep doing that. And the Oilers, once again, just being a little bit too careless with the puck on their stick in their own zone. That one winds up in the back of the net. 4:47 remaining in this one as Winnipeg is up 2. Brochu's having a good game, and that's a tough stop for a goaltender because that puck is coming at you, not necessarily slowly, but it's coming at you at a controlled pace, and all of a sudden it takes an uncontrolled deflection.
Yeah, absolutely, at the last second. And throughout this game, we've also seen some of the details that can help separate players, right? And it's plays along the wall. And as you're younger, you're learning a little bit more about how to win those battles and make those plays.
A shot from the point by Warner finds its way through the bodies, but on the left side of the net. Yager gives it up to his winger as the Jets do get it out, but the Oilers now showcasing a little bit more urgency as the clock strikes down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this one. 2-0 is the score as the Jets extend the lead just moments ago. In the finale for both of these teams' respective schedules at the YoungStars Classic, it's Lajoie. Up the left-hand side of Nickel. Nickel surveying his options off the bench as James Steffen was calling for it, but Nickel had that puck stripped by Barlow. Barlow didn't think that was an icing, but the linesman disagrees, and this is going to be an offensive zone chance. So now you can start feeling the urgency from the team in white ramping up a little bit, and it all begins with offensive zone draws. The Oilers have not done a good enough job today in winning these crucial draws.
Well, and this one would be important because you do have a couple of Jets that have been on the ice for a little bit here in Yager and Barlow. So if you're able to win this and make them defend a little bit more, Edmonton could have a little bit of an advantage here with 3:52 to go.
A fresh set of line for the Oilers. Unable to win the draw as Yager wins it, goes off to the bench, and the Winnipeg Jets, mission accomplished for what you needed to do there. 3:42 remaining in this one. Davidson over to Peterson. Petrov plays it up for Wakely. Steffen tries to get there, couldn't reach it. Now Mayo has it, and as the Winnipeg Jets counter, but now are just kind of focusing in on clogging up that neutral zone right now, not necessarily taking any more chances as Steffen has the puck, has to wait for Petrov to come back onside. Instead, the Oilers will make a full change. It's Grube on the backhand. Button hooks, goes back to Corbet, to his D-man. Corbet, shot, doesn't go through the body, hits off a Jet's leg, as he has it. He on the backhand. Good stick there by Corbet to negate that one. Otherwise, he had a wide open look in front of Brochu. De Jong takes a heavy hit by he. He's been moving his feet. Zloty going back, and that one is going to be icing. The Oilers protest won't be able to change as the Jets will get some fresh set of legs out there.
It's a good shift from Corbet as well. Just, on the offensive side, we talked about walking the line. He was able to do that, and the shot doesn't get through. But then this is on the defensive side. Kevin He, not a slow player. He's got some pace, and Corbet just able to stick that stick out and cut him off from getting to the front of the net.
Kevin He has certainly looked impressive here today. 6 feet, 181 pounds, pride of Toronto, Ontario. And we have, Grube.
It's Grube and Zhilkin.
That was an instant development as Grube was unhappy with something that transpired there. The gloves immediately came off. Danny Zhilkin did not take off his gloves, so that happened rather quick. We'll see what happens on the replay. Zhilkin kind of looking at the ref saying, I'm not sure what happened here, and Grube is certainly not happy.
And with that quickly off the draw, you wonder if something's set or if there's a stick or what it was, but Zhilkin down, looks like a normal face-off there. Stick to the face. So Zhilkin probably not thrilled with that. There's probably some pushing and shoving that occurred after that, but.
Yeah, Grube definitely got his stick up high there.
And Grube was, I don't know if it's just frustration at the end of the weekend or what it is, but obviously some conversations being had about what the penalties are going to be. Petrov pleading his case.
Group certainly getting that stick horizontal.
But on the replay, it certainly looked just like until that cross-check, it was like a normal face-off. And
have to wonder if some words were exchanged before that face-off here. As we take one more look at the face-off, you can see Group stick right here, launches right up to the face of Zhilkin. And then the camera does follow the play, so we don't see what happens after the fact. But head coach Colin Chauk, head coach of the Bakersfield Condors and head coach of the Edmonton Oilers rookies, his third tournament here, I believe, and looks to chalk up a play to hopefully bring them within striking distance.
Yeah, because looking up at the board, they do have an extra 2 right now on Winnipeg's side, although the number they have up is 42, which would have been Group. So we'll see if they get this eventually sorted. But
you have to think that the original penalty was on the Edmonton Oilers, and we might possibly see a 5-on-4 once more for the Winnipeg Jets. Only 3 Oilers on the ice. There's a 4th. It's Corbet. He's going to round out the PKers that are out there, and head coach Colin Chauk electing to go with Matt Savoy and Sam O'Reilly. So Mitchell, a little bit of offensive punch on this PK. Of course, 2:37 remaining in this one. Maybe if they get a chance, we'll likely see Brochu hit that bench.
Well, we've seen a lot of NHL teams now that they'll use some of your higher end forwards on the penalty kill as options, because if there's ever a turnover, who do you want with the puck in that situation? Well, you want someone high end that if they get that one look, maybe they can make something happen. And while it looks like a 2-0 lead right now, I mean, you get one, and all of a sudden this feels like a lot more of a tighter game than what the scoreboard would indicate. So Winnipeg obviously just looking to run this out on the power play and maybe pot one more, but nonetheless, good position to be in if you're Winnipeg.
We saw the referees and the Oilers bench having an extended conversation. That is because there is no power play on this one, so it's 5-on-5 hockey. They had 2 minutes up on the board after an extended conversation. We have 5-on-5 hockey with about 135 seconds remaining in this one. We have an icing here. The Oilers send out their top line, looking to get a little bit of a jump. And this one's going to be on the shoulders of Sam O'Reilly to win this defensive draw. And if they can maintain possession, we'll likely see a 6th attacker. But the Oilers not able to generate much offense. Only 1 goal so far in the 2.9 games. Is that about right? Yeah, that's about 0.1.
I was going to say that.
2.9.
Pretty good.
I'm trying to go quick math here.
That's pretty good math to convert it that quickly. But you're right. It was kind of what we talked about at the start, right? Colin Chauk saying that they're getting the opportunities. It's just a matter of getting that puck over the goal line. Now, Milic played very well in his 2 periods. DiVincentis has been solid since he's come in. He's had to make a few saves as well.
The final 120 seconds remain, at least in regulation for both of these clubs. The Winnipeg Jets are up 2. The Oilers have none, but they have the puck. Here is Sam O'Reilly. Puts it in deep. Petrov awaiting. Elects to go around to Lajoie. Lajoie back to Petrov. Lets it go for Nickel. As William Nickel.
Thanks for the sub.
Oilers trying to see if...
Absolutely. They're trying to see if that was a straight out, but they're saying that was deflected out of play, but the possession, or at least the face-off, will remain in the Winnipeg Jets zone.
Yeah, Braden Yeager is the Jet that ends up shooting this thing over and just kind of able to come in on the inside and get that position, and that's... Ooh, that replay made it look a little more straight out. Maybe it grazed glass on the way out, but that was tight.
You can actually see right after the fact, we're going to take one more look at it. We'll see if it's straight out or not. Oh, that could have been straight out. And I think the Winnipeg Jets catching a little bit of luck there. And you can see the Winnipeg Jets players actually immediately looking at the refs.
Yeah.
Because I think they possibly knew that was straight out. But hey, that was a close one.
Take the break.
Referee's defense.
Yep, take the breaks as you get them. Those always happen right at a split second, right? It's a tough decision to make. And so, of course, Winnipeg will be happy to keep this at, I was going to say 5-on-5, but Brochu's still out of the net, obviously, with the faceoff coming in the Winnipeg zone. So it'll be 6-on-5. And Obviously, this is another situation where you don't really have a whole lot of time to practice it, right? Whether you're Edmonton with 6 on the ice or 5, there's fundamental principles you can rely on for sure. You do have the extra guy on the ice, so you can work the puck around. Usually it just means another extra body in and around that net front area.
It's O'Reilly versus Yager. 100 seconds remain between the Oilers rookies and the Jets rookies. The Jets currently on their way to their second victory of the tournament. The Oilers are winless. However, we'll see what the final 90 seconds has in store. Yager, more than content with just holding the puck alongside the board, eventually gets whistled down, and it will be another face-off to the left of DiVincentis.
Yeah, I was going to say that a similar situation to the game yesterday for Winnipeg up against Vancouver, where Vancouver pinned the puck against the wall for a good 15 seconds, where the officials blew it down. In the NHL, they don't necessarily do that as much. They tend to let it go. They want the players to make plays. They don't kind of want the defensive side to be able to just pin it and hold it there.
O'Reilly loses the draw as Mayo tries to rim it around and get it out, and that's exactly what he does. Lajoie back to retrieve it with 70 seconds remaining. Lajoie leading an Oilers attack that looks to get on the board for the first time here today and for the second time in the tournament. Nickel on the forecheck. Great job by the Jets to support each other, but it's Lajoie keeping it in, and an extra effort there by Kuzmin, I believe, to get that out. And Matvei Petrov has it and gives it to Boehm with 35 seconds remaining. Boehm leading the charge. Over the red he goes. Chases his own dump in. DiVincentis tries to play it around. It's De Jong that keeps it in. De Jong. Wakely off the shoulder. De Jong it's just going off the stick of De Jong today, fighting the puck a little bit. But overall, he was pretty good for the Oilers in this tournament. Warner, 3 seconds remain. And that's going to do it. The Winnipeg Jets, a 2-0 victory for their second win. And it's a combined shutout, Mitchell. We don't often see that.
I know. I did wonder how Winnipeg was going to run their goaltenders. Knew that Milic was going to get the start, once Winnipeg kind of released their lineup. And I was curious if they might try to go the split, but they gave Milic 40 minutes. And I thought when it was sitting at 0, they might be tempted to keep him in there for the shutout. But, hey, a combined shutout's never a bad thing. And nice for Winnipeg to end this thing on a winning note before a long travel day back home. And as for Edmonton, it's experience gained, right? Like, it sure doesn't go your way in this one, but you got to wear the jersey and, get a little bit of a glimpse into what this might feel like as you try to take your game to the next level and prepare for training camp.
And that's exactly what this tournament does, right? It gives you those reps. It gives you those morning skates. It gives you those in-depth coaches meetings. It gives you those in-depth player meetings that we see so naturally at the NHL level. It's really about getting these players back in that flow and really build that expectation of what's coming for them at that next level, Mitchell.
100%. And, I can imagine it's a great experience for those players and also gets them ready for training camp, which starts in just a couple of days. Let's go.
Let's go. We're ready for hockey. We're ready for main camp as we call a close on this one. The Jets close out their YoungStars Classic with a 2-1 record, 61 total shots here today, 2 goals, one of them courtesy of Torgerson, and the other
off the stick of Henry Nikkanen. Nice little deflection
of Henry Nikkanen. A great deflection in front. Great effort by Colby Barlow on that one, and that's going to do it. Thank you so much to Oilers fans, Jets fans, and hockey fans all around the world for tuning in to the YoungStars Classic. For Mitchell Clinton, I'm Tony Barr signing off. Have a wonderful Monday.
sub.
YoungStars Classic comes to a close here in Penticton. The Edmonton Oilers rookies fall to the Winnipeg Jets by a score of 2-0. Welcome into the Oilers Plus Live postgame show. I'm Paige Martin. So glad you've decided to join us. In just a few moments, we will be hearing from goaltender Brett Brochu, who came up with 32 saves tonight, despite, I guess I should say this morning, despite the 2-0 loss. We'll also hear from head coach Colin Chalk. Make sure you stay right with us. We'll be hearing from them in just a few moments. result that you guys wanted, but you still came up with a 32 save performance. How did you assess the way that you performed today?
Yeah, I felt good. I thought I kept a lot of pucks to my chest. Was really square, kept things simple, and thought my skating has improved a lot. The speed of the game was quick, so it was nice that I could keep up with it and feel good.
Did it take a little bit to kind of get into that pace of the game and how quick it was?
Yeah, definitely. Especially a long summer. So yeah, it was definitely nice to get into it and get some shots early too. So yeah, it was nice.
You play in the final game of the weekend. Was there an element this weekend where you were kind of just itching to be able to, you know, actually get in the action?
Yeah, the first 2 games I was definitely like really intrigued to play and hoping that I could get into one. I wasn't sure if I was, but I'm glad that I did. And yeah, it was nice. It felt nice to be back in the crease.
And what about with the Oilers logo on your chest? How did that feel?
Yeah, it was nice. That was obviously my first time playing in a rookie tournament or anything like that, so it was really nice. It was exciting.
Overall, how would you assess kind of, you know, you've experienced the entire weekend, and how would you assess how you found it?
Yeah, I felt good. I thought I played well in practices too, and you know, I thought I handled my business well and stayed prepared for when my opportunity came.
You mentioned skating. Is that the primary thing you worked on, your edges and your skating in the crease?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, as a smaller guy, that's the most important thing. So, yeah, that was a big summer for me this year.
Obviously, a pretty big season for you, of course, coming up. How does it feel kind of getting in the net, starting off on a high note, and what your expectations are for this season?
Yeah, again, like my expectations are to win a lot of hockey games, and I'm you know, a little bit upset that we didn't get to win today, but yeah, that's you know, at the end of the day, that's our job, is to win hockey games, and yeah, as long as I could do my job to help our team win, that's what I'm doing.
That second goal, that redirection, what kind of a redirection did that take, and how did that kind of squeeze by there?
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. I thought he was going to grab onto that and try and cut across the crease, but he ended up tipping it right past my skate there. And yeah, I'll have to reassess and watch video on that and just see how I could handle things differently, I guess.
Brett, I ask you for a moment of reflection because I remember your early days in London where you started and then how you grew through junior, and now you're here at the Oilers rookie camp. Can you just kind of take me through what goes on in your mind when you reflect on that?
Yeah, it's honestly been an awesome journey. Like, my time in London was incredible. I'm sure that you got to watch me play a decent amount, so it was awesome. Last year was my first year pro, and it was a great experience too. I got a lot better, learned a lot of new things, and I'm really looking forward to this year. I'm extremely excited. I think our team's going to be good in Fort Wayne, and yeah, I'm excited.
What's the difference between being a pro and playing in major junior?
The game's just much harder. It's a lot harder to win, and there's expectations too. So yeah, like that, it was great. The speed's good. You know, the East Coast is a lot better than what a lot of people think too. So that was a big jump for me.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Great job.
today. What did you think of how your team applied what, you taught them through the first 2 games and into today?
If I start on how we started the game, we were a little sleepy and we didn't like that. But what I did like is to your point, Paige, is that some of our breakouts and our transitions, our forecheck, staying on pucks and getting to the net and finishing on the inside, I think is a big thing that we talked about offensively. Frustrating for everybody that we weren't rewarded, but one play that I think everyone sticks out in their minds is when Matt Savoy finished at the paint first, and that's what we're talking about. And he was tackled, and unfortunate bounce for everybody, but it's the process, and that's what it's about in these camps. It's about some moments of building to try to be a National League player, and that was a good moment today, and unfortunately we didn't convert.
Your goaltender today, Brett Brochu, he made 32 saves. It was his first time in the crease in this tournament. He said he was really itching to be able to get in. What did you think about the way that he showed up and kind of really gave your team a chance today?
He was excellent. I felt like on the start there, he kept it 0-0. Tough power play goal, we would have liked to have back. We felt at one point there was 3 power plays to none, but he was an excellent game. Why was an excellent game? The puck was sticking to him. He wasn't spitting many things out. It was sticking to him. And there was a few flurries in the second period where we felt like we controlled the play, but on those flurries he was able to keep it at 1-0. So I think when you do things like that as a goaltender, I think it's exciting, and I'm really happy for the young man to have an NHL jersey on and have a good showing like that. Tough one in the second one, screen and tip, and that's why we say get pucks to the paint and finish first. And I know in OilCountry, Zach Hyman does a pretty good job of doing that.
These are significant appearances for a lot of these guys. I mean, first time ever rocking the Oilers sweater or NHL sweater, whichever team you play on. What is the parting words here, Colin, for this group? Of course, definitely didn't get as much offense as you guys hoped. 1 goal all throughout the tournament, but showed some fight, showed some resilience, always battled. What's the parting words with this group?
So we went. Usually we don't go in after games. After a win, we'll go in and shake hands. But the player it needs a bit of a mental break. But we went in after the tournament like we would at any ending of anything. And the message is if you're a top centerman in the NHL, you're just a shade above 50% on faceoffs, right? And that means you lose almost half as many. To win a playoff series, you got to win 4, but you could lose 3. And that's how close the margin is winning and losing, or getting the job or not, or making the play or not. So reminding them that we were close in a lot of the games. Unfortunately, we didn't push it over the goal line, but it's about the process at this point. We all understand it's a result-driven business, but understand that you're not as far as you think, right? And there was lots of good things. Celebrate those good things, all right, and try to stack them more on top of each other, and try and have a few more of those good things. And that was, I don't know word for word, but pretty close to what we said. We shook their hands. We said we got better, and hope they enjoyed their experience wearing a National League jersey. And wherever they go next, we wish them the best of luck.
Amazing. Thanks, Colin.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for everything. Really appreciate it.
Nice work by the Winnipeg Jets to maintain control and possession. Puck, I always love that play, putting it in the corner. But here we go, a great shot and a good stop by Brochu, a right pad save. Look to slow it down a little bit. This is something that we've seen, Mitchell, from the Edmonton Oilers. They've been a little bit too careless in their own zone. And a big hit on Carl Berglund. Delivered by Lewinsky. Number 92, catch that license plate.
Absolutely, and that's the thing with having that much skill. This is that hit in the middle of the ice where Lewinsky just catches Berglund, just not quite seeing him coming from that backside. And so we've seen Lewinsky twice in this game throwing his weight around it, being a little bit more physical, and this is his second game of the tournament.
The Edmonton Oilers win the face-off. Shot from the point from Mayo. That one hit a body, and now in the corner. A great stick lift here. Here comes Wakely. He's got a man coming on the right-hand side. Wakely tried getting that shot pass. Yeah, Oilers maintaining the possession, hoping to get a few more pucks on Milicic. 5-3 are the shots. About 6 minutes into this one. It's he on the right-hand side. Takes the shot, and that one is easily handled by Brochu. That is the definition of being in good position.
As Brochu goes on the offensive end of the ice as well.
Yeah, Jaeger has certainly been a standout for the Winnipeg Jets so far. So has Clattenburg as he gets a couple of chances. The second one on net. Milicic doing a great job of battling in the crease. And now there's a battle in front as we're starting to see The Winnipeg Jets doing a great job of getting in the passing lanes. Group going to the net here. DeJong, great pass to Nickel. And Milich with another stop. But here's a fight behind the play. It's Corbet once again getting in his third fight. And he's got, can't see the number 92.
That's Lewinsky, the one that's been throwing the hits in this first period.
Yeah. And it's a pretty good tilt here in Penticton on a Monday morning. Lewinsky, 6'1", 194. Corbet, 6'1", 181. That's a pretty even fight, I would say, Mitchell.
Yeah,
for a lot of these players, especially for the Oilers, for the camp invites, you haven't played a lot with these other players, so it takes a little bit to get going. A shot from Warner off the bar and out of play. That's by far the Edmonton Oilers' best chance of the first period as Warner, as King is now on Warner. Warner behind the back, a little careless, got lucky there, but Waugh followed it up, and Wakely squeaked in behind the defender, gets a good backhand shot off for time. Getting the puck out of their net, out of their zone, excuse me. De Jong over to Nickel. Nickel finds Grube on the backhand, and Milich standing tall once again. That's a 7th stop. Been noticeable as well so far in these few days. He's got some bite to his game and also some jump in his step. Showcasing it there, and here's the first one. There is he. Has the puck on his forehand, tries to go backhand. That one hit the knob of Brochu. Otherwise, it would have been 1-0 Winnipeg. Great stop there by number 50. As the Oilers just look. Lewinsky, active game for him so far. Passes it Torgerson with the shot. Rebound, Brochu did a good job of maintaining. Good heads-up play by Sam O'Reilly. That one had an opportunity.
A little bit of a scrambly start to the second, but I would say Winnipeg's a team that kind of generates the first good chance, and nice follow-up by Nikkanen, and then shortly after by, I believe that was Lewinsky as well. Brochu stands tall and then makes a...
He is coming off his first pro season in Bakersfield. A shot from the point. The Jets have it. Brochu with the right pad stop. As Sword now has it on the left-hand side. A shot from the dot. Good stop by Brochu. On the right-hand side, tries to make a backhand play. As Levis was there, but he almost got a stick up on the visor. Matvei Petrov gets it and retrieves in his own zone. Over to Stefan. Stefan, a nifty little move on the inside. Wakely shot stopped twice by the left pad of Thomas Milich. Get a line change in and put it in deep. Davidson, a costly turnover, and that's a stop by Jaeger. Good shoulder stop there by Brochu. Unit. Making a couple of changes at least. Jaeger remains on. Jilkin chases in his own dump. But it's Sam O'Reilly who ended up winning it. Great job by Sword to keep it in on the blue line. Jilkin over, and we have our icebreaker. The Winnipeg Jets are on the board. And it's Daniel Torgerson who gets the Jets on the board. 1-0 Winnipeg, 9:37. And it's courtesy of the man advantage.
Third power play goal of the tournament for the Winnipeg Jets. And Edmonton had done such a good job throughout the penalty kill of when they got the puck, getting it down the ice. And this one is just one that doesn't quite get far enough. And Winnipeg is able to send it in. Then a turnover at that point in the defensive zone on the penalty kill. You're always going to end up in trouble. And you got to feel good for Torgerson, who, like I said earlier, had a bunch of chances in the opening game of the tournament, had nothing go for him, and that one he bangs into the back of the net.
Was a scratch last game as Chilich over to Barlow. That one was tipped in front. Good pad stop as we're seeing some back and forth action right now. It's Matvei Petrov over the blue line. A shot as Milich corrals that one on the Winnipeg Jets crest.
On the shot from the flank, Barlow puts it right where it needs to be, but Brochu makes the stop.
Great play there by Danny Jilkin to follow up his play, getting the deflection on it. Brochu equal to the task, and Milich having to compete in the crease and maintain, somehow kept that one out. Corbet.
As the officials continue to talk, this is another look at that play on the goal line. That's how close the Oilers come to tying this game. Milich just sprawling across. So you can see the puck gets loose in the crease here and just whacks it away, and Winnipeg getting the first touch on the puck just after Milich clears it.
Left, but no, Dalberg is the one who carries it out and a big hit. This one's going to be a penalty, and the Oilers are responding.
Clattenburg, and then also for Anhorn. And one more look at the hit, because you can see Anhorn's there. He's waiting and he's waiting, and then he finally gets Clattenburg to turn, and then he finishes his check. And, well, and then
takes a deflection, once again picked up by Warner. Warner tries to make a move as Jilkin showcasing his defensive prowess there. Good feet there, and a good move in front by Yager, and Brochu stops the door.
As you can see Jilkin gets that zone entry and just kind of pops up. At 4-on-4, it's you got a little bit more space to work with, and Jilkin makes the most of that, and then Yager with a good hard net drive to the front, but Brochu with a really nice stop.
Excuse me, Matvey Petrov behind the net now. Backhand pass in front to Groove, and a good stop by Milic. Once again on the left side.
The goal line in terms of puck battles, so once again, they were in the Winnipeg zone, but it ends with a penalty.
O'Reilly loses the draw, so it's the Jets who get the puck and a couple of chances. Brochu doing a great job of sticking that one. Made 2 or 3 saves there.
First touch.
The last one.
They get the puck to the net. It all kind of starts off of a nice face-off win. You'll take that every time on the power play. And then it's just pucks to the net, right? Banging away at it is Torgerson. And I think this Barlow chance was probably Brochu's best save of the whole sequence, because you've already
to Lajoie, but that one's far behind him. Now it's a 4-on-1 the other way. 4-on-2 now. Over to cross to Barlow. Mishandles it. But Brochu doing a great job of maintaining that blocker on the ice. Otherwise, a battle in the corner. 3 Oilers to 2 Jets, and the Oilers come out away. Here comes Bame. Bame just has one defender to beat. Tries to shoot on the glove hand side. But Miller, I'm an equipment nerd like that. It's
love it.
How I identify players out there. It's Wah. Shot from the points. Now the Oilers are starting to generate some offense near the goal line. That shot, Curtis.
Oilers having to be careful by their bench with the puck there.
There's a couple of, as Group takes a nasty hit, as he was not suspecting that, because he had his hands full with another Jets player. And there is going to be a delayed penalty, and the mitts have been dropped. It's Group. I did not catch the license plate of the Winnipeg Jets player there. I'm not sure if you did.
I think it's Colby Barlow, but
just on the board there.
Groove's gloves came off, and then I think Barlow was more just going for the tie up there. I mean, he's obviously a young guy in Winnipeg, a more veteran roster, so he'll just be looking to try to get some experience, I think, and try to take that next step.
He's more open to playing in his 40s at the NHL Media Tour down in Vegas. As the Winnipeg Jets get a good shot off the stick of Barlow, who is also across to Savoy. Warner, Savoy, Clattenburg, O'Reilly, all attacking the line at the same time. O'Reilly in front to Clattenburg. Couldn't get the stick on it. And that one, as Torgerson fires it in on the right side of Brochu. Group couldn't quite get to that puck as the Jets maintain possession, and that one is tipped in front. It's Henry Nikkanen extending the lead for the Winnipeg Jets. 5:01 remaining in this one, and the Winnipeg Jets capitalize on a turnover that was created by moving their feet. Nikkanen, the beneficiary.
Yeah, it's just great work along the walls that kind of gives Winnipeg possession off this entry. You can see Torgerson fires this one down into the Edmonton end, and then it's just a couple of battles, and then Winnipeg ends up with it. And Barlow's literally just sending this thing towards the net. He knows he's got Nikkanen there. Nikkanen's not a small guy. He gets really nice positioning there, and he's just able, a small little deflection is all it was, and that's all that was needed to make it 2-0.
He looked impressive. Great work here today. 6 feet, 181 pounds. Pride of Toronto, Ontario. And we have, Grube.
It's Grube and Jilkin.
That was an instant development as Grube was unhappy with something that transpired there. The gloves immediately came off. Danny Jilkin did not take off his gloves, so that happened rather quick. We'll see what happens on the replay. Jilkin kind of looking at the ref saying, I'm not sure what happened here, and Grube is certainly not happy.
And with that quickly off the draw, you wonder if something's set or if there's a stick or what it was, but Jilkin down, looks like a normal face-off there. Stick to the face. So Jilkin probably not thrilled with that. There's probably some pushing and shoving that occurred after that, but... Yeah,
Grube definitely got his stick up high there.
And Grube was I don't know if it's just frustration at the end of the weekend or what it is.
Pretty good for the Oilers in this tournament. Warner, 3 seconds remain. And that's going to do it. The Winnipeg Jets, a 2-0 victory for their second win. And it's a combined shutout, Mitchell. We don't often see that.
I did wonder how Winnipeg was going to run their goaltenders. Knew that Milic was going to get the start, once Winnipeg kind of released their lineup. And I was curious if they might try to go the split, but they gave Milic 40 minutes. And I thought when it was sitting at 0, they might be tempted to keep him in there for the shutout. But hey, a combined shutout's never a bad thing. And nice for Winnipeg to end this thing on a